genius.
Starting, here we go.
They were saying, despite the fact that they think Sentinel should be the favorites, it's been a long time since we've seen both of these teams.
I like BBB's casting, like the duo BBB and the duo. I thought they were pretty good.
Wow, full retake. They're doing your crunch.
Ooh, look at that, the aggression.
Oh wow. You got the opener. Oh wow.
And everybody being collected up and corralled into this corner here. Sentinels now being squeezed, having to use a bit of util now to see if they can pave a way back out of this fight.
It's a great idea to slow the tempo down.
Oh, their team is looking good.
I like
yeah.
the idea that NRG are not forcing the fight. They play that set.
What's SEN's like win rate on this map historically?
Collecting the objective.
Got no idea.
Spike drop down as well. Plenty players left to watch here. NRG more than favoured. You look at the damage across these Sentinels players, you'd have to see some miraculous shots. Fault line. There just in case. So down to a crawl.
It's so difficult to get this back. NRG's strategy has just worked excellently. Smoke
That's a good strat, though.
Door open by tens. Can he hit a shot? To turn
And
this
he
fight,
hit
isn't
a
it?
If he can get anything done, but no, Som survives and they all topple in the end. So a pistol round win for NRG.
What a beautiful one. A lot of teams have been running this strategy where you put a lot of utility pressure on the push out through mound, and then you have two players that also push through B. But there are not many people who run it as a pistol round idea. And when you're playing double initiator on this map, I think on the defense side, you've actually got to have ideas like this. You might think to yourself too, NRG have not had very much time.
I'll be interested to see how they play defense. Cause yeah, they can like do like push rounds like that on defense with the end, but like you can't do that every round. Like if you're not really pushing rounds, it's kind of a bit harder.
Grinding.
Obviously playing heavy catch up. Bit of a prep disadvantage for the team, but they do have that slight advantage here with all the crap now. I mean, just catching out Som.
That's a great little punish.
Yeah, obtaining a gun from it. How much more danger is there in the round?
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to say, we've seen tens do some deadly things with Guardians. You know, C9 in the previous stage were running a strat where they force bought a Guardian on some of these eco rounds just to see if their star player could make magic happen. Certainly don't count them out. But remember that some can still have impact over here on the C site.
You're already seeing it, yeah. Smoke propped up across the choke.
Better chat.
Cam broken. Horn through as well. Finesse
Order
gonna
is
be
a
feeling
bit
this kind of
messed
pressure.
up, but all good.
Still lands it at the advantage there, at least with the armor after shock. Benton Sentinels from really scaling into the back of this site, but now starting to gain some ground forwards. Finesse also doing walkabout. His head on a wrong type of swivel, looking in the complete wrong direction. A plan online for Sentinels, a bit of extra pocket change. Potentially putting them into a winning position in the round as well. Depends if they can do anything with this one gun still in their hands.
Ethan changes crosshair?
From Ethan, cleaning it up. John QT, 15 health though, and he's got a lot more to do.
That was a good round from Sun, but
yeah, but they made it expensive.
Yeah.
Well dealt with there by NRG. As SEN committed to the site, it looked like
I'm freezing.
Scattered a little. I think we're going to see
it's really
a
hot.
lot of scrappy gameplay in this, and not because the teams are bad, but because it's so difficult to recognize what your opponents are going to be doing when we're seeing this kind of cutting edge of the meta. There's been quite a few teams that are running the Cypher Deadlock idea. It's come out of Tier 2 by the look of things. We started to make waves in Tier 1. We saw Fnatic running it on Ascent.
Hi, Toon.
Turtle Troop really trying to set the meta out there, but bringing it over here to Lotus, and Wyatt was talking about the Clove being run as well in that secondary tier. Aggressive again over towards C. But this time running it as a
they're really trying to do like these C fights here on defense with like Neon Breach Stun and like C fight.
Cam's broken.
They are begging Sassy to
prioritizing C and they're comfortable playing off A.
It's only finesse here. Don't you want to go into the Cypher? Don't you want your kill on the
They probably have like set.
Next month.
Yeah, we're coming to Malaysia next month.
You get jeered by the crowd.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's not true, is it? That's just a trap.
Of course not. No, of course.
Celsius would never call out Finesse saying he's a 42-year-old. Never.
But it worked away towards the A side anyway. So
Could have picked a better spot there. They use like the open for everything.
Slap the impact playing the close.
Not sure about that one.
All grouped up from NRG. It's a bonus round for them as well. So the weaponry is a little bit weaker.
I think it's because I'm right next to this PC and it's like steaming hot
spotting
air
up most of them.
Probably.
Sentinel's post-plant position as well. It's pretty immaculate here. It's hard to.
Every kill was big here for NRG. They're on the bonus.
Stuns set up. Able to catch the contact of any of these players here with the horn. Dealt with finesse though, right from the side. Grab net. Oh, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say they definitely have like huge.
Oh my god, Tons couldn't even move.
Where that came from. Wingman, defuse, nade, rebounds. Gonna be broken here. Gotta get bodies onto this one for any chance of winning. Sticking, crashes forwards all the way, but
NRG made that expensive for SEN though. Wow. That's the thing. I think that's why they wanted like. They give up A so easily because they have like set retakes for A, like bread and butter with utility, and especially because like the spaces are so tight. They have like the breach stun, etc. I think to just layer it up perfectly.
SEN keep committing into the same area that they've just killed Clove, and so Som is able still to have quite a lot of impact in these situations. Over on C and now over on A, providing those smokes and allowing.
Yeah, they're all in the half armor. They could have gone out on NRG.
Find anything in the previous round, and NRG just run it back. Slight variation as they walk into Mound here.
Taking a lot of space here. Yeah. Tens, he's eager for the first engagement.
They have 4 C again every round.
Yeah.
Can't escape it. Victor.
We just keep contesting
Yeah, they just keep breach stunning the line and then pushing in with
attempt
Vic.
of a pivot there by Sentinels at least to maybe relieve some of that pressure. They open wide the door, but now lurking their way forward. Zelsis.
I'm gonna take him out.
He's just being in that situation as well. Yeah. Victor's just able to capitalize on that so quickly. But SEN, you're right, Brett. They've found a bit of space here. And NRG gave up so much of the rest of the map by stacking 4 players on C, as they have been doing for a lot of their defense rounds. They are SEN overthinking this though.
Go on walkabouts
and
into crashes.
Crashes has got his back to all of them essentially. Just watching a slight pixel angle, I think.
Timing is massive here.
He is
not aware.
It seems like, and gaps in the defensive protocols there. NRG, they have only had basically a month together, so it's going to be expected.
Just not fast enough on the pivot to cover those holes. They knew, of course, that it was a fake over towards B, but maybe just expecting SEN to be trying to draw out defensive utility, not going for a big push like that.
Yeah, it was bold. It was a crazy play.
Oh, close around 33.
Smoke's now down again.
Can't go any further.
He's been made. Victor is well ahead of the rest of his team. Medal rebounds. Low HP in the end, but not enough for the kill. And Zekken still holding his ground in from the side.
They all went in like 1 by 1.
Yeah.
Wonderful mid-round adjustments.
Vic ran in, died, then Speak, and then Ethan and Yuto it.
Taking that kind of pathing.
They all had 3 kills. 3,
you know, you could get caught by somebody who's rotating from A over towards B on that fake tap.
I feel like they have to do something
also get caught in a crossfire over
proactive.
yeah, something proactive to like hold that C line because they know that they're. Then they might also be NRG might be like conditioning it so that like they might like throw up like a fake neon wall or something or like a fake breach stun and then like actually stack A, push them off the line after conditioning it.
Decent. They've got themselves advantages, but by
back then you wouldn't condition shit, but like maybe with FNS like they are starting to condition, but I just think they're like pointing for like traps and like now they have a B trap. A traps are hard and like Sentinels knows that they have a good A fight because they have neon and breach stuff so they can't go out A.
Together too, always the main 3.
I've seen go A every round they'll win, I'm not gonna
lie.
If they just wait, find the trap and go every round. As long as you end there, I think you win every round.
Yeah, so far, I mean, heavy play by
I think the one thing they're worried about is like the amount of utility that NRG has, so they might be trying to like burn that utility to help, or else it's like really funny on the.
Seeing if they will run themselves into that B side, but no, over towards C.
NRG are just playing for traps, like they're pushing with the other again.
Saw the lineup being set up from Mound.
Yeah, and it's a great barrier. We've seen other teams run this as well.
You just can't make it work every time.
Just locks them out from playing the.
Like it'll work twice and then you just start dodging
really play into this one, but they're still holding for this.
Crashes his ult too.
Util in their hands as well, spotting all these bodies. Flashed up. A little bit late and delayed. 1 for 1. Giving away the rifle.
Yeah, no one with Zekken.
Drops back. Ults now have to be committed here. Annihilation.
So low.
Didn't connect. Ethan. Tasty little treat for him. Pulled and backed away here and still walking down that Mound Avenue.
so tilted when you get caught into that deadlock.
He is the mouse, look at him.
He is a mass.
Losing it there.
Rat.
But okay, it was an eco round. They forced out the deadlock ult on the other side. So the silver lining still, but the ult bank is getting large for SEN. And they're feeling like
they have 4 ults this round, and they're one off breach. Probably gonna fight for a ult here.
John is gonna start to get an understanding of how the whole team wants to play.
Fans are cheering like SEN 1 VCT. SEN fans are like SEN fans are like LATAM fans.
Hey, aren't you a SEN fan now? You're rooting for Sentinels.
I'm not like a SEN fan. Like I root for the team, but I don't put me in with SEN City. They're so scary. I'm like terrified of them.
Being used, on the cam.
I mean, this gun
He just didn't know where it was, so it had to be revealed, eventually broken.
And this is one of the more standard defensive setups.
From what I've seen, energy still looks like the same energy.
Towards rubble. They're not posting
do a trap and then
maybe Son with his ult would be looking to play in that direction and try to fight real heavy over rubble. But Som is anticipating that this one is going to end C, probably reading into the fact that Zeken's one away from the showstopper. That would be the most natural place to pivot to. Pick up that orb over at Mound. Showstopper in. It's not what SEN have got in mind, though.
No, very different, actually. You don't really expect this. But walking their way over towards the B site. One trip to stop them.
And Ethan's just put away his fault line. He was thinking about stunning off this trip contact.
Purely contact up until...
Ooh,
the deadlock wall. That's so annoying.
No, he was there for another second.
Oh, that's bomb!
Oh, they got bombed there. That one was fine.
But he's all the way in B. He needs to regroup with them.
Risk of a Melons moment, but we'll see if it ends up playing like this one. And Sentinels just make the call to save. Who's back away? No, they've got the ult.
No, they've got the ult to play with here. So Tens is going to be able to pick that up. You can't deny it with just one player. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they pushed them as they were going to the retake.
Can't do anything, yeah.
Oh, that was a good retake.
It was mostly because he died with bomb there. That like really messed up their timing.
I knew details.
What a recovery then from NRG towards the end. Deciding to send it after losing 2 players.
Plus they had so much utility to like ult-wise.
Yeah. As soon as the blunder came through, of John dropping Spike over towards A lobby, not anticipating that double push coming out through C Mound. As soon as the Spike goes down, NRG should have been in control. And 2 kills came through real quick up top here.
The rolling thunder saving the day.
NRG is pushing every round for info. Like
yeah,
mid-round or late round,
yeah. The plan.
Get that info and then...
Good stuff. Big ults invested. And NRG back to their old tricks, looking like they want to fight over here. Is it going to be some kind of trap? No, they're just shoving it in.
4 players going forward, stuns. A little bit of friendly fire, barrier, oh my god, I mean second.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
They've done it like 5 rounds already at the start of the round.
Fast moving all around the place here, now it's up to
Worked the
Som.
first turn, that was it.
Sort of presence of the players over towards A. It's up to him to see if he can beat a stalwart defender. But he's got Zekken with a showstopper to deal with. Still instant.
That's a lot.
Just evade him with the movement.
What the fuck was that res?
Secondary cleanup now. Players
How
moving
about
into
that
position
res?
from NRG. Already FNS looking for that early face.
They're playing for C-Bike, they're not playing for the 8 retake.
Yeah.
It's like fighting the main 1v5.
I think that's like the one hole is that it's once
should
you
do, like,
realize
spawn or
where they're playing and what they're pushing, what they're taking control of.
Looking great from NRG, completely caught SEN off guard. They didn't quite have the protocol to be ready for it.
I'll just have to play
This
back
round,
there.
Wall goes down immediately. Double face there from Zekken and from
He
Tens.
dies like that and he
And
reses.
on top of SEN improving the way that they deal with that aggression, you also had a team stun coming out.
Monkey is definitely adjusting really well to like the first like surprise.
If you stun your own Neon, that's not gonna help.
It's a rough one. Definitely a rough one. Sentinels looking drilled on these angles.
And I was talking earlier about how much depth NRG were gonna have.
Like this is the round where you do something. Like what they tried doing last round.
But I think also the
Last
composition
round you
is
just play standard.
them to play
And
more
this round
aggressively.
you like push or something.
Having double initiator in this spot, you don't
guns.
really want to be playing for info necessarily. You want to be trying to use that initiator utility to bring the fight to SEN.
Yeah.
And they've kind of struggled with that. SEN have done a great
Think about the
job
deadlock,
at
so.
adapting to all of that.
I haven't seen anything out of Deadlock. I mean, I
Just
guess
the
they're
walls
just
slow it
like
down.
blowing off like
Yeah.
Feels like center
this
This
and this, I
one
guess.
here too,
Yeah,
it
those
just-
are good, but
big alt cycle.
Like
You gotta
slows
get there
down
first.
There's a
the
chance
Yeah.
here for NRG to get back
retake.
into things.
up until that, though, it's
Probably
like
not
kind
in
of
this
useless.
round.
Got
All open
like
wide,
good
just
post
bait
plant.
out.
I'm interested in seeing it
It's a
on
piece of the
defense.
utility from NRG.
Yeah.
Diablo's dead. There's no king of hell.
3 seconds of prime.
Oh,
That's a lovely combo.
That was a
Sees
crazy
somehow
lead.
not connecting
It
into
was
the corner
tethered
there,
too.
So
Yeah.
some surviving 4 now, but plucked at the seams. There was a weak goodbye from NRG, worth
What mouse is
considering
he?
into this, but Sentinels are now really starting to get that
I
momentum.
couldn't tell.
underneath
Chat, what
them.
mouse does Zach use?
Yeah, they're looking great.
Oh, the
I
Viper
mean, they really
V3 or
worked
something.
hard.
Oh,
They're taking
yeah.
B-main for free there, putting a lot of pressure A at the same time
Mouse is
with
so
the cam.
big.
Open door, paranoia comes through. It feels like NRG are finding it difficult to get a read on where the SEN players are in order to hit them with that big utility. Ethan had his big round with the retake, where he got a huge amount of value with that Rolling Thunder, but outside of that, the breach util hasn't
That's
really
so square.
been
I've
able
been playing
to
against another one.
precisely locate people and provide a follow-up. So time out
Diablo's
his
dead.
call
There's
for
no
NRG.
king of hell. Demon1.
Do they have an ability to play a
Like
slower
USC,
game
thank you for the tier 1
with this
2 months
composition?
appreciate it.
I think it is somewhat possible to try to do something like fight a rebel early on in the round, post up somebody like Som, and try to rotate basically off the information that Som's going to provide.
I didn't want to get too into the weeds in terms of the agent changes either, but, you know, Neon, she's missing a stun now. Typically, you see a Neon offload if you're going to try and fight for the A rubble like you were saying. Early. Victor, when he's been playing over towards A, he hasn't been using it. He's been saving
I
it 'cause he
mean,
knows he's
using
gonna-
Yeah.
safer ult is like,
So
yeah.
you do have to consider all the little changes in the way that they add up and the way that you might play normally with this composition, the way we've seen it play in the past, at least when teams use the Neon.
yeah. Plus, it doesn't do much because there's still 3
Yeah.
bombs left. They can just sit and
Like,
spawn.
We're mentioning it
Doesn't
only
really
had
do
about a month
anything.
together as a team, but this unit, this core,
But at the same time, I mean, the core has been
around for a while.
around for quite a long time.
Diablo's
It's
dead.
only
There's no
recently
king of hell. Demon1.
Neon is a hard
known
pick for
Ethan that
defense.
played with Ethan.
You're just forced to.
Wow.
As I'm talking about Neon, there you go.
Keen eye from Victor and even sharper aim.
Wow.
Rattle her away to shots, but the
It
trace
is.
Unless you do that, then like, there you go.
Yeah.
Then Neon is good.
Himself a kill, still the smack.
Max pick, I know. As I was about to start talking about Neon.
It's gonna have to be
know.
expended here to try and push back and away these players. NRG.
Yo, dead shot, thank you for the tier 1.
When you even realize this.
When you see that the spike is down in uncomfortable spots like this, it's just the premium tell that SEN were not expecting aggression in that area. Same as when John got caught with it over towards A lobby. They just weren't expecting NRG to be that aggro and fight inside 10 smoke like that. Now this time, of course, they don't have the Omen ult to be able to go and retrieve that, so they've got to try to
I wish you
create
guys could see this.
some angles
Leo's
elsewhere.
sitting on
They're
his
hoping
mouse
that NRG are playing super heavy still around Mount, trying to deny them from taking that area, but it's only Som that's been left.
Okay. Just open up the door to 2 players though. We'll clear most of this, so it gives them access
30
to the spike. The
seconds though.
trouble is
There's
time
like
is of the essence.
decision here.
Yeah, it's a hard
Not much of
round.
it left for Sentinels in this one. We're only 30
Yeah.
seconds into the round.
Gonna have
Full
full
site set
util
up.
too.
FNS though is playing up
Yeah.
close and personal, way ahead of
Okay,
his setup,
energy one.
making all the noise in the world,
I think
straight
so
through the
too.
cage. You just get that information for him and now
Ooh,
backing
they
away
come
to
back B.
safety. But it looks like B is going to be the goal.
I mean,
still.
again,
Gonna be
he's
slowed
just
down and
gonna deny
stunted.
them. So
Fault line missing. Being held off the contact of Ethan. What is the call now? Over towards B is really the only option for Sentinels. You've got to try and lock this
He
one
definitely
down.
needs to push
Not
up
going to be
here.
pushed back and prevented from planting. So an extension into the round for Sentinels themselves. Double faces, nice energy.
Oh,
Cool,
that was
calm and
like
collected.
crazy swing from Crashy.
My God, man, that is nasty from Crashies.
I
The
just
final
this
player looking
round
to hold
wasn't.
off the horde. This is
Yeah.
looking like NRG have got themselves in a great
good.
situation to convert.
A 1v4 is just not possible.
The jiggle picks, the little shoulder
That's
picks
how
that
I know,
Crashies
like,
throws out there.
NRG are
Maybe
just
a beta
fighting
shot,
C and they
I was
still
already
go
the
into
play.
there.
Yeah.
Sassy for having excellent patience with it.
Yeah.
And then Victor, Crashies just waits for
Like
that
the
extra
best
player
rounds
to come
where
alongside
they
him,
like
swings
deny
out.
getting picked off like
dominates.
that.
It's little moments like that, that realization that yes, this core of the team, I was talking about it in terms of, you know, the map
Well,
depth, not really having too much time to practice together, but little moments like that where they're calling, play together,
Yeah, it's nice.
makes a difference.
That's good.
And once more, that round set up by getting an advantage off an
Don't care
early
about
set
anything
play.
except himself.
Similar
Watching
setup here
calls.
again. 2C, 2B, just leave A to finesse. Seems to be the major adjustment they made coming out of the tag timeout. And Som on a pretty filthy off angle, without the ult to be able to play it. these stuns, they've kind of given NRG priority over
the
angles.
I know.
They've really been catching people for kills.
Sentinel's been doing a good job of trying to play it cautiously.
Yeah, they're always
Bait
baiting
out
it
at
out.
util. Yeah.
El Diablo's dead. There's no
It's perfect.
Yeah, I think the
second
perfect
Yeah,
it.
can only do that online. Welcome back to the stage, Som.
On land, surely.
On land, that's what I meant to say. Listen, we're shaking off the rust. It's been over a month.
SEN have fallen into NRG's trap here as well. This is where Finesse has got his setup. Victor is providing them all the information over on the other side of the map.
Grab their forwards. Fault line's good as
Yeah,
well.
like that
Slows
one
it
just
back
doesn't
and
have that
around
much
here.
value right now. It's not gonna lie.
Second's gone walkabout.
It's like the
He's gone
ISO on
upstairs
P.
here. And the fact that the deadlock
Doesn't do
wall was
anything.
used should mean that Crashies isn't paying too much attention to it, but he absolutely is.
Still watching, he's going to be taking a fight in the
Oh,
reclear.
Deadlock has bomb
The
though.
second who gets the timing right against him. Som on the off. Doesn't catch it. Not a single player to be found there. All dropping down now. NRG.
There they
had
did a
to
good job of
retake.
like pushing, like pulling the rotates away.
Yeah.
Two-piece. Only the one
Really
though.
good job.
Instantaneous
Pull
on
the
trade.
rotates
Victor
away. They got the.
through there with the slide and the
Yeah.
glide, but he just can't make it happen. Ethan's too low, really. Surely it's an impossibility.
And Som has only got 50 credits here as well. So I think ideally Ethan does actually want to save this.
Yeah.
It looks like he's backing off just to try to make the next round as good as possible. Unfortunate kind of errors there from Crashies and Som. Crashies really was thinking about that stairs push, despite the fact that the deadlock wall was used to fake the fact that Zekken couldn't be in that position. Crashies still had his eyes on it, and then he just didn't full clear it and decided to run past.
Slight miss in the timing.
And Som's been really trying to get value out of some of these off angles and hasn't quite been able to find the kills he's been looking for.
Yeah.
But that one, that was a brilliant way of opening up the round.
Is this better?
Well, so far, this map seems to be coming down to, can Victor get them an opening
I think
pick
this is
by
like
doing
the
some
best
kind of
we could
aggressive
do.
set play? If yes, NRG are in a good spot to win the round.
Like that.
Because
Better?
Senna
Okay.
playing purely reactively. If no, and it becomes a
Oh,
slow
I have to
pace
lock
round,
it.
Sen have got pretty great ways of closing things out.
The lower it's good. I don't want to block the like the player name.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Always going to be a bit of a slow
I like
siege,
utility
think,
they have.
At the beginning. They are so scared of the trap plays.
Yeah.
They understand the win cons of this comp.
And of course, NRG's comp usually would love to play retake setups as well. But I think against the Deadlock Cypher, when you might be running into wall and trip in post plant, they don't really want to opt into that as much. So
It's
that's another
pretty.
reason
It's
why
really
In
pretty.
this specific matchup, they're having to force the fights early a lot more. Whoa, that's
Oh,
early.
Naxi with
early
Asher.
showstopper just to clear
Say that
Mount.
every day.
She does
Definitely
everything
quite
for
in
me.
control of this one, and the Satchels have all been
Basically
used
raised
up.
this man.
Second. Let's rip there with the ult. At least still the rocket rebounds. Som still healthy. Moving forward. Spotting him with just the head. Bunny hopping around. Still wants to take up that space. Back off the side.
Broken all of Finesse's utility.
Oh my god, they've got a squad there. The whole zoo is peeking.
Being used, faking that presence and pressure applied over towards the B side. Not too sure how many more connections, but what is the side that's
It's so hectic. There's just so much going
They're
on.
uncertain themselves. They don't even know it. They double face it straight through.
Very
The trades this time advantageous. All for Sentinels.
That stun's very annoying for Crashies to deal with. He doesn't want to give away his positioning because he feels like he has a good timing. But that means he can't really shoot.
Yeah, any noise being made, and he would have been stunned up anyway.
Deadlock util.
That's a rise. Victor
Wow.
drops 4-7 now. That scoreline heading into the final round of this first half.
What a round from John. Didn't see it on camera, but maybe we'll
I
get
think
a
I say this
replay.
every time,
John
but
wanted to
I think
against
John
Som,
Kitty
and that
has
was the
been like
reason
one of
that
the
they went
most,
back
Yeah,
over
like
he's
one of the
fast.
greatest,
Here it is.
yeah, like additions to
Spamming
Sen.
over
And
towards
the
Som.
second they like,
Try to apply some pressure onto those players on mount.
they call like released that he was gonna be in Sen, I was like, yeah,
Two afterwards, the IGL from Sen.
that's gonna be like shoot.
Finding big value despite the fact that he's towards the bottom of the scoreboard right now, but calling a good game and hitting some good shots when it
on the winning
matters.
keyboard.
Right, going into the final round of the half
Happy
here. Everything's still on the line and back to this set play over towards
Ooh,
C.
see, that's what I was saying about the conditioning. Seeing that they condition the util towards C. But I mean, it still makes them worried. Like, they're still anxious about it, so they have to go re-clear it. It forces time.
B and A where they stacked all of these players.
Yeah, but the problem is...
So I think now they have the info that they know.
I was gonna say, the problem
But then
is
they
that
also
Sen
don't know
have
that they're
actually
pushing
adopted
that.
a slower
It's
process.
just Neon's hard. I guess 4 is like good on attack or defense here.
Instead of reacting in the opposite direction, so it doesn't
It's
get the
hard.
value. And now Finesse has been baited.
Yeah, it is an attack side in that.
Absolutely crazy stuff. But the IGL's got to step up to the challenge here.
What does that deadlock wall do? I think they were trying to deny the neon push because Victor's been...
Just about broken and still sassy. Holding his ground down with a rifle in hand. Beginning to feel like desperation here for NRG in this final round.
That was... Okay.
But 4 on the board on the defense side, honestly, it might not even be that bad. I know they're about to run into a deadlock Cypher comp on the defense, but NRG's composition themselves has a lot of explosive stuff to it.
Yeah.
Can NRG make it even better by winning an extremely unlikely 2v4 towards
It's
the end?
honestly so, like, stressful.
It took a marathon sprint, man, just to get there.
I don't see how this one's possible.
It really doesn't look possible
John
at
has
all.
stuns in the post plan.
Yeah, this is where deadlock gets used to.
Missed
Oh,
it,
he
yep,
missed.
dodged. But again, the time's ticking, you can hear it on
We need like a
the spike.
Rosa
As soon as
version of
that's
the deadlock comp.
full finish, preordained, so
Someone's gotta miss it pretty badly.
I know, consistently.
just
Yeah.
for Sentinels, the sides are going to be swapping around as well, but yeah, nice stuff. And honestly, it is still up in the air, like you were saying, Josh. You know, you don't really know how these
He's
are going to be
still...
playing out, especially with the comp that NRG have. It can be explosive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting when the sides swap. We don't really have very much data to know whether 4's enough here for NRG or whether they favor the
Let's see
attack on the defense
how
side even.
deadlock plays into...
But you're right, it did look a little desperate.
Yeah, Sentinel's comp was just like better against.
I think, yeah, they purposely have it to deny, like, the neon.
Like Neon is really good on attack, but like Deadlock is really good on defense against
In
them.
fully.
Hi,
Ready for the win,
sympathy!
really, at any
Oh my
moment.
God.
Wait, he used the slide already?
Quite a bit of
Wait, did he?
Started,
on
yeah.
there for NRG
I didn't get to see...
before they hit the site.
Yeah, I lost
Right
in
now in
your
the
eyes.
open.
That flash, stun to be able to work with. I think Zekken, yeah, just caught a glimpse there of Victor before Victor was ready to take the fight. But already anticipating that stun coming through.
Oh,
Sees, ooh, and not quite avoided, but you can tuck into the corner just to delay
So
the damage
shit.
coming through. Victor still jump spot, least with all of that.
Wow.
Rapid.
Ethan got the
what's
kill.
even... You can't even see what's going on.
Dealing
Like,
with
there's just
spam.
so
sort
much...
of an attempt of a refight.
That is a fantastic dizzy. I think he threw it through the gap in the ceiling to be able to put huge pressure onto those Sen guys.
Ravner does rebound though. Catches.
This is a good split
Gonna be able to
from
hear this
Rosie.
one. Victor doesn't make any
Makes it
noise,
too.
doesn't seek to even remove it still.
And then they had
Holds
Sam
it
and whatnot
down,
up
and a bit
B.
scrappy and a bit messy.
Oh,
Still,
Ethan.
NRG, another pistol round win.
Right click.
Managing to avoid running into the deadlock or the Cypher there. Finding that gap. And utilizing their
Was that a
utility
diamond
quite
chain?
nicely. Yeah.
No, I don't think.
Not that they found the perfect timing on Zekken, but here it is. This dizzy over the top. Bounces off the ceiling, flashes both of these players,
Wow.
and sets up for 2 easy kills when Sen were trying to
Right
defend
click
them
demon.
right at the door.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's a great way of maximizing your double initiator utility.
Yeah.
Seeing plenty of teams going for 1, 2 players buying pistols. NRG taking no chances. Everyone buying whatever they can to make sure they convert this and get back into Lotus.
We need to see improvements, at least in this category, the attack side rounds for NRG. Something that I was thinking about heading into this series. I mean, the NRG of stage 1, they were looking pretty abysmal, you know, to put it lightly, I think, on that particular half.
He's placing a trip in the middle of the round.
I know.
I think the IGL, you know, it's a hard job. Calling up the old retiree of FNS, getting him back into the fight here with the dizzy. No one going to be holding it, so it's an open sight here for NRG, but that's going to be a story I think that we follow all throughout this half.
Does
Does
that have a cam?
Attempted a flood.
This is just a
Not with the
free
weapons, though.
energy
Yeah.
win
This
round.
is sweet.
Flying here with a bit of the utils. Elsa's classic in hand.
They only
Let's
have
make light
classic.
work of Ethan, and there's definitely damage done, but you just can't imagine it being a reality. jump spot.
Yeah, there's nothing saying.
Making it look easy for Finesse.
I love that skin.
Get yourself comfortable back
The
on the
new one
stage
with like
for
the
sure.
butterflies and whatnot.
And the way that
What
Like
gun
girly
is
pop
What gun
skin,
is
it
it?
was the
you know, on
pistol,
both
but they have like a
sides,
phantom
it's
too,
quite
remember?
difficult to pull off these
Oh, I know what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying. Yeah, I don't know the name.
But NRG had the advantage on defense that they were very
We just always call it the
explosive when
girly
they
pop
pushed
skin.
out. Whereas if SEN ever push on defense, it's not going to be a big set play. It's going to be a slow, lurky kind of flank. And that doesn't do very well against the Cypher. So I think they're going to find it difficult to really take space on defense. It's much more about just having the Cypher and the Deadlock
I see.
annihilate one part of a map. As you can see here, putting the stack on the other area. Yeah.
A lot of damage exchange.
NRG, on the
here,
other hand,
Victor.
has consistently been defaulting A control early in the
Bad
round.
end of
Yeah.
things. Drop down to
Just to get
21
one and
health.
maybe insert and then work around the map other.
Yeah, that's
Like,
strong
after.
A open.
Normally,
Because then they
these
have the
Cypher Deadlock
neon
comps,
dash
They do
to
tend to
after.
stack Cypher and Deadlock
Yeah.
utility on
If
one
need
side,
be.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
they
have
just have
a-
Slam Sword they
three
open.
players
Just leave them
fighting
inserted
on
every
the other.
time. Either
So
A
it's a bit of
or
a pick
B.
your poison. Do you want to go into the heavy
Yeah.
utility, or do you want to go into the heavy players?
doing?
The meta at the moment
should be
has been
perfect.
to create like a strong
I don't-
site,
I don't
weak
know.
site,
I think he's
and
better
then
just somewhere.
disguise which one is which. This composition just tries to really make everything strong in different ways.
Yeah, the heavy stack of order suit. I mean, look, that looks like a nightmare to get through. A lot of game plans to try and break some of it, but really, I mean, you're not running a raise, so after
Throwing his
shot,
orbs.
running forwards. What's going on?
Oh, he killed Vic.
There's no way,
Wait, how did it
man.
happen? What
He ran
happened?
into his
Can't be doing
ability.
that.
Oh.
Lock down, slow down.
30 seconds
By all
left.
this utility,
The breach
30
shock or
seconds
whatever.
to make a move and a mark onto one of these sites here, but calls being made by NRG. They want to go over towards A. Finesse. All eyes on him. Smoke fades away. The positioning here. Slide off. Sees the barrel and he's betrayed by it. So Tens, he's offered an easy one.
10
Fando
seconds
still
left.
with barely enough time on the clock. 10 seconds.
Surprisingly, I
to
still
go.
don't think I've
Getting
really
into
seen
it here,
much
but trying
from
to
the
deal
deadlock
with the
on
horn. I think
defense
just
too.
about
Yeah,
revealed
Deadlock
second.
is just
Yeah.
not
Even
it.
out of the scene, and only one remains. It's crashes.
Well, I completely
to do the
understand
most.
like the
1v3
reasoning behind it, but I just
haven't.
haven't seen much from it on defense here.
Yeah.
It's a fairly decent bonus round, honestly, from NRG.
Table
I know
shaking?
that
Sorry,
it
that's my
comes
leg. I always shake.
in comic fashion with an aftershock
Constant
to
anxiety.
kill their own player.
I have like
We were
ADHD.
talking about how brutal that choke point looked to get through. Just didn't also think that Ethan was going to make it worse. Yeah. But yeah, that actually wasn't that bad of a bonus round. You know,
That's
getting the
pretty
plan
low on
down,
money
doing a
here.
little bit of damage to the SEN players. They're all
Yeah.
on light armor. One bulldog as well being brought into this round. NRG still with chances.
Line up.
Sentinels looking like they want to opt into this fight over towards A rubble. How do you deal with it though? Stun.
The thing is, for
Now
this
they're
A
going
open,
Gets Victor.
for these first 3 seconds that accomplished nothing, he used everything and he has 1 HP already.
I think that was just an off time though.
Door rotates.
The other,
Second.
like last round, he didn't use
This
everything.
guy's locked in, so eager.
It's because they're trying to do like a fast like.
Diablo's dead. This is gonna hell. Demon1.
Yo, Habib, thank you for the prime, appreciate you.
The options just feeling like they're running short for NRG. They've slowed it down just a tad. Reaching the middle point of the round.
Sun didn't show.
What's
You know that you're going to be heading into 3 players here, most likely. You know, a
Is
deadlock wall
this?
is still
I
up,
have no idea
so
what
there's
that-
no reason for them to.
Yeah,
still
what
be
is this
checking B.
on-screen celebration thing?
Smokes up, Tens. Backs in away, at least with the TP, so he's not going to be holding towards the back of the side. And the contact plays are working out in the favor of NRG.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that SEN decided to play full offside there.
Ethan's still got
They
lots
had
of.
3 players, you know, 2 in committed positions, and could have brought Sassy over.
Speaking of committed, Victor, this spot, he needs to get value, and he does do so. 4 versus 4, but really just locked down into place. But he's
Yeah, that
Into the
positioning is
TP
That was
from
a good
Tens as
count.
well, and he knew precisely the timing to take. Double up now. Abundance of players to help him out, and they've bailed themselves out of a really tricky spot. A great round win by NRG.
Rough there on the timing from Tens. I don't think it's even particularly necessary. They could have double swung over towards site, made sure that that angle was clear, and then
I'll pay you to
Clear
stream
hit off
again,
the bat.
Cat.
There you go.
Sold.
just wanted to do it with a little bit more style and pizzazz. And get
Phone's
punished
broken
for
and
it.
there's cracks on it.
NRG now putting the squeeze on the SEN economy. There's still Players
$5
are
in my
buy
bank.
very comfortably here.
I'm not lying.
But they're keeping it suppressed. And that can end up paying up dividends later on. NRG, though, are really trying not to go into the Cypher deadlock site. They're pushing things into second, tense, and sassy.
NRG's comp is just like way better for attack.
You know, when we're watching it from Victor's spot,
it's
it was obvious how that kill happened.
Really hard on defense.
It's very nice.
They already had like 5 on defense.
So a timeout being called here by Sentinels. And I think this is also going to give an opportunity for NRG to think about
how to take space really.
The slower you play against the deadlock wall, sometimes the better it can be. If you're going to force the deadlock wall out early, then you can play around it once it goes down again.
I know, I can't help it.
You take map control elsewhere, and then once the wall drops, you know that they're going to have to rotate a player to cover for that. They're also not really trying to deal with
up again.
the Cypher util on defense. They're not going and breaking Zels's setups particularly. Like I said, they're just trying to run it into that 3-player stack. But they have enough util with the double initiator. They're actually making it work.
Yeah. So what is the call to be made by Sentinels?
This is the last
spot?
game. Last match.
Yeah.
That's a clear game plan by NRG.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one.
Yeah. Spread out the util a little bit further.
You can certainly try to bleed them out of utility, right? So you take fights in aggressive positions, but not fully committing to them. Just looking to slowly give ground over the course of the round.
What's Dorks doing, huh?
But make NRG pay for it with
Guys are
util.
dumb
So
and
that once they
dumber.
actually get into a post plant or an exec, right there, they don't have too much to work with. Instead, though, it looks like Sen are just gonna fight them.
And Sen's low on money here. For their egos.
Up and over the top. Nobody on NRG really going to be taking that fight.
I think they're just sticking to that half-order revive.
Comes after the fact, really, that the fight has already
The
been
Fnatic strat.
and happened. NRG are also walking their way now in through the BE side as a sensor. They do need to be careful about this one because, well, just out of range of it, making the noise, just trying to pre-fire it now and find it, but they can't quite spot it. It's still there, and it stuns them up! Bloody hell, it's all
that's
being
rough.
used. Conjunction, connected up, chained up, but still, how are these kills ending? 4 versus 4. Anyone's game still into this round. Actually calling for that pause. Bit of a buffer now as they want to bide it.
It's a total bizarre one. And John Cutie used the Annihilation in the middle of all of that. Didn't find a kill off the back of it. Despite the fact he was shooting it into a couple of players stacked up. NRG slowing things down. This is pretty classic finesse. Looking to go for the re-hit on B. Another contact play. Trying to abuse the fact that they're not running into the Cypher here. That it's only
Illegal
Did
bug.
you see ISO today? We already saw ISO.
Paint played ISO
Yeah,
on a
first
scent.
Call. It's the correct one. Open sight. Thrash doesn't see anything. Gonna be sending this one back for the second go of things here. Fast flank. It's gonna be occurring by Sentinels, just trying to wrap themselves around.
This is really early, and the fact that Tense is opening the door means that you're going to be looking in that direction, not thinking about John and Sassy.
Orchestrates quite a lot here. Thrash. It's really just being used out into the open. It's not
Double
the
team.
gliding. Tense. It's up to him to see if he can defend his team, but he only
Jazal, I think an Azalt here.
time ticking away against them.
Just
They're
has
taking
to
this
live.
time of things. Gotta get some bodies onto this one. Tens with a defuse, but they're all in thunder. Denies.
Wow.
What?
He flew up there.
Wow.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Good win.
That's a bit of a weird one now.
Yo, relax.
That's a bit of a weird one. Even the way that Tens got back into sight. He was trying to do a fake teleport play or something. Didn't realize there was a player tucked in the corner. Utterly bizarre situation. But NRG once again on the attack side, finding their way through the Cypher deadlock setup. Initial skirmish, cut-boys re-hit over towards B. Really nicely navigated.
Wow, that's crazy.
That was pretty crazy.
I think.
Yeah, I was thinking of the prime appreciate
chance
it.
to think about. All right, the Cypher is setting up primarily. Zelsis is primarily over towards C.
And we're already into the action. I mean, missing the first few seconds of things. This time it's Sentinels just opting into the fight.
4v4 on the bomb
Straight
stage.
up, a bit of a brawl.
That was good to shut down like their
particularly cause any danger, and he has instantly by taking out Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that trip was high though.
Yeah. Into the round by second. He is on low money, so imagine that it's maybe an investment on his part. Yeah, and Sassy has the other one, so everybody's set up now. Great read by Sentinel. Jump spot. A little bit off there. Potential for Zelsis to get punished, but he just skips and hops his way back to safety. And now we see ults being used. Showstopper, Zekken. He's forwards. Spearhead for the team. Needs a kill to make it worthwhile. Rebound.
Ooh, they got damage though.
Done. Not enough for the kill. Crash is still alive and kicking.
This is an eco
Wait,
round.
what?
Classic stood another.
This is an eco.
What?
Firepower is there.
They have pistols.
Jeez.
This is what I bought the SEN bundle for. This is what I spent my money for.
Heartbreaking situation there for Sun towards the end of things as well. Has the ult online, just has to let it disappear. In an unwinnable spot. As Sen put together a thrifty round.
Yeah, that was a thrifty.
As soon as John threw that ball over towards Rubble, Finesse had the read. They went over towards
Oh, wow.
They did
That's
have the
what
read
you got
though, yeah.
But
It's
these
just they got like
fights just happen. It's so
completely
alone. Why is he
overwhelmed by numbers too.
separated from the rest? How to lose an anti-eco? Get individuals trying to take 1vx's all around the map. Donating weaponry.
They have 3 ults. So. Has NRG been farming orbs? I didn't even realize. They just consistently have orbs. All of them. Yeah, looks like they are.
Up into their favor. NRG with the aftershocks. The only thing that can really clear these close trips. Beautiful time
I
underground.
hate that deadlock thing.
It's
It's traumatizing to me.
Just look what they have to go through to get into the site.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
A wall, a trip, a sensor,
They've got that discipline.
and they still came
It's
out.
still not
on
even
top.
on site.
Engagement.
Look how
They did come out on top. They won that.
NRG to get through that with the Cypher and the Deadlock utility. Finesse has found a lovely timing though. Great read on what was happening in the macro awareness of the map. He's slunk his way up into heaven. I think Crashy's here. Oh, he hasn't
Bomb.
realized.
Down B.
Perhaps not even really thinking that the door was open there and that was a possibility, but what a beautiful timing that Tenza's got.
Timings.
Oh, good timing.
On timings.
All the way in their spawn. Look at
Catches the back of the
that.
head of 10s. 2v2 still. Spike has been dropped down.
Yeah. I think Sen should have a
Oh,
pretty
we
good
know, we
understanding
know,
of where
we
people
know,
are.
we
Go
know.
away. Timing again. Oh, they just missed each other.
That was the craziest
That's
timing.
crazy, the timing, yeah.
Ethan. Barely a smidge of HP, only 30 health, 1 bullet to the chest. Absolutely topple indeed. 11 to 8. A hefty lead for Sentinels. Economy tumbled now for NRG.
Inside the box.
It was them that were putting the pressure over on the other side completely, but a thrifty round where Zekken just had a hero weapon and an ult has turned this map utterly on its head. And you can see why NRG have not been going over towards that side of the map. Having to get through the Cypher util.
Oh, he saw his gun like
Yeah.
that.
They like
Damn.
barely missed each other. I thought Finesse was gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Stay in
I think he's
things.
gonna kill both of them because it looked like he was about to miss the.
Yeah, they did. They're having to commit their after.
Because if he wasn't fully inside the corner,
Yeah.
he would have been in an off angle. He would have seen him
And
first.
getting rid of one trip.
But he was tucked in all the way
Most
instead.
maps, that would be a pretty big success, but here it just feels like that's the first of 5 to 10 things you have to deal with.
Many
he's
hurdles to
just
overcome with the double sentinel comp. Calling for the timeout. It's NRG looking for answers. I will say, you know, up until now, one of the things I was paying attention to was the attack side calling.
Oi,
It's a clear difference, isn't it, from stage 1? But
Absolutely.
I mean, the macro calling, I think, is
Way better.
leaps and bounds.
Way better. He's finding individual lurk timings. Overall,
It's not over
really
till
nice
it's over,
position
chat.
around as well.
We're
Making
still
it
in this.
a little more difficult for Sen to figure out where they're going, but it is a weird map to judge that because of the Cypher deadlock on the other side.
Yeah.
But yeah, a nice combination of contacting and bursting. It feels like
Think it's
Finesse is
over?
back and calling a good game.
What's the
Not
looking
over
like?
till
But
it's
they're still going
over.
up
That's
against
what I said about MIBR. That's what I'm saying about.
They're on pistols this round.
You know,
I'm
missing
trying
the
to see
mark,
some
missing
interesting
Shanghai entirely.
games, you know.
Now back after a little bit of rest and rejuvenation. Here's a lot of damage, isn't it? Oh my goodness, Zekken spraying and praying away with the Phantom. No punish in sight. Lots of damage done to these NRG players.
Yeah, I'm
And you
so
might be
interested
thinking to
compared
yourself,
NRG to MIBR.
No, I'm just saying like the matches, you know. Like it doesn't matter who
Eco
plays. I'll always
Running
be
a fast
like,
B
yeah, I want
strat
to see
into
interesting.
the deadlock stuns sounds horrendous.
Call line re-cleared out.
Oh
It's a nice mosh
wow.
pit. clears the way. No punish though. Onto 10 still there with a flash. Victor's just seeking.
You got flashed?
Attempt to take
I don't think
a cheeky
so.
fight. 10 still alive and kicking, and definitely with the support of the rest of his team. Everybody collapses up to 12.
13-year-old reaction
One more
time.
step to be taken for Sentinels, and they have wrapped up Lotus nice and pretty.
And then you have to win every match in the playoffs. I'm not sure how many wins they need.
Everything
what they
working
need.
for them.
How many
And
do they
Sen
need,
once again
chat?
having a blinder of a game. Yeah, Sentinels didn't make the international event. Their regular season for both of these squads, the record is not good. 3-3. But this year, no one can deny that Sen have not been playing some excellent Valorant at times. And second,
21 and 13,
Up at
17
at
and
the top
10.
of that, especially when Sen were on top of the world earlier this year.
She's his one-off ult.
Just not being matched.
Not by an individual on the other side, not today.
Yeah, positioning. Clearly took control
least
of
not
A
yet.
off for it.
Yeah.
Different defense setup here, as you've got 10s anchoring C.
You have
Maybe
Thrash.
anticipating that things were going to be sent in that
Okay.
direction, expecting that
You
mix
see him
up.
in the jump peek?
Yeah, he saw him. He walled.
They're still working the
Still
map.
in
They
with
have
the
Som inserted over
Power
to
mesh
C.
sent forwards and flying.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, they would be able to get over that if they hopped on top of Root. So John Cutie's got to
Oh,
pay it a little bit of attention, a little bit of respect. But heading back towards C, I mean, Sen, what a read on this from the very beginning.
yeah, I feel like at this point you
knowing
kind
that
of
this
know
was
Yeah.
where they're leaning towards because they have the
Exactly.
cam. Or,
pings out, pressure going to be on 10.
They're going to get ruined by the trips, man, I think. If the Aftershock is in the same place as before, I don't think they're placed in that corner.
that's
That's
it.
2 of them out of the way. Thrash at least might be able to just tangle up some of them. Only onto the 1.
That was just so annoying. How do you, what do you even do against that? What the heck?
That's just so much work. There's another trip now.
Yeah, that's so overwhelming. You're just getting like hard delayed on your entry constantly, and then you already got wall, the deadlock wall towards A.
What can you do? Annihilation.
What is the time on that? Like the wall? How long
Oh,
is
it's like
that?
60 seconds or something.
50?
60, I think.
It's
It's quite a while.
Nobody can. The 1 left to stand. And even barely alive.
That's the best of 3
6
for a
seconds
reason.
left. No options left other than
Energy
to stick the
2-1.
plans, and they know it's over.
Wow, that was a good matchup.
13-8 finish for Lotus.
You can definitely see like Vanessa's what do you call it, like
What a map to start
influence
Oh,
on
yeah.
like the team of NRG and like how he's adapting to the mid round a little better, you know?
Looking forward to, but I don't think anyone will be disappointed.
Are you gonna be able to bench her? to bicep curl her?
NRG have that kind of coordination.
Kind of awkward. Why are you so awkward?
Initial contact. Sentinels want nothing to do with it. Immediately you can see them. 180, turning around, slow walking away. Now getting a
Like, again, they have Neon on defense, they're starting.
And normally you would expect
Let's get into it.
to see somebody playing slightly more aggressively at A, so you get earlier information. By the time Som realizes that they're heading in this direction, it may be too little too late to hold on to this side.
Long time no see. Oh my
Flash
gosh.
He's not calling any rotates yet, though.
I'll see in the
Second.
That's just so hard starting with Neon on defense 2 maps in a row. Like, as a Neon player, or like, if you're like the Neon player, like, so hard.
It gives them
You would
options,
prefer
but one
attack,
option just taken away
obviously. But
by Victor. The other one, Tens, trying to lurk his way into B right now and telling the rest of the team to come back. in that
Camera's
direction.
shaking, that's because I shake.
30 seconds left.
Is the call now. Sentinels. 4 players up, they go straight through mid, going for the B split. Still from the back, Cam tagged up. Taking a moment here to just pull it
that
out
can't
at the
go any
42nd. He's eager. Here's the reload. Time
That's
really running short. Plenty of players. A rapid approach
Spike planted.
through the back of the site
3-3.
now. NRG not wasting any time from this one.
yeah, we have a KO flash.
access
Let's
to it.
get a nice little KO flash in there.
Just a
Nope,
classic, giving a
nothing.
pre-fire into the smoke, anticipating that second player to move through. Sassy can really do
Oh, he
something.
heard him.
Oh.
He
Should
heard
more so
him.
than that to kill Found. A 2v1
Oh,
is where
this is
Ethan
so hard
is
to win.
placed.
Yeah.
Almost in a possibility for him to win. Such low HP.
If they just play it right.
Jump spots.
Yeah.
That's a lovely pistol round. But Desk was talking about how map 1 was defined by pace. And I think that's going to apply again
Yeah, totally.
here.
I don't know what are they?
There's a lot of
You blink.
initiator power coming from Sentinels, but the speed and the set plays are probably going to be coming from NRG. So SEN slowed things down after they put a bit of pressure over towards A and still had those options of going back over to John or
Those 3 do you mean?
calling
They're
a really
win-loss
nice
ratio
game
for the
there.
season.
For NRG,
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, they're both 3-3 on the season.
Season?
The entire year.
Oh, I was so
Outside of like, only in like Americas, outside of like
Spanning back all
international.
the way to CS, right? Not even just in Valorant. Finesse getting blinded like 5 times there. He's just eating them all. But they are walking into a little bit of a stack. Now, when you watch Heretics, they have tons of really disciplined, like, mid-reclear strategies and stuff like that. But I'm not expecting NRG to have as many because, like I said,
that's a
they are in a bit more of an experimental early
It's like a
phase
human
right now.
baby.
Yeah. Despite the fact they've been putting in quite a lot of time over the last month. It's only 1 month.
Yeah, I think this NRG core, despite them existing for a long time, as we've been mentioning, you've got to place those expectations, I think.
Now you got one, yeah.
Almost like a next year thing.
I mean, that's
a bit of a crazy thing to say.
I mean, it's a brutal thing to say, but it may well be true. You look at what both these teams are working with here. They're both 3-3 in the regular season, but SEN are in such a better spot just because of all of those championship points. Even if they did beef it in stage 2, they'd probably still make champs. NRG can barely afford to lose a single
Wait,
match.
Sam actually almost got
tough
that.
opposition as well.
He just is against a
SEN being one of them that they find themselves toe-to-toe with. And SEN
Why are your
looking to
hands
pick up
so warm?
a fairly clean second round.
Freezing.
Like, I don't know. Our body temperatures like never match.
Beginning as well of this entire match, I think redemption was the
You're
key word.
freezing
Both
and
these
I'm
orgs,
like
right? You know, both of them
mega like hot, or
kind of
you're
being hit
mega
here
hot,
by
and I'm like,
NRG with the changes
Oh,
they
yeah.
made. You know, Finesse and Som coming back in, looking if they can redeem this year. For Sentinels themselves as well, you know, didn't get to prove themselves on the big stage of Shanghai, but a couple of the players have said, you know, maybe that's for their own benefit. Blessing in disguise that they didn't end up having to
his secret
play another
personality.
international tournament, reveal more
Set it up.
strategies, take a bit of a reset, you know?
Certainly.
Start this party.
They've had a lot of time to reinvent themselves. We saw that over towards Lotus with them playing an unusual comp.
He has his ult now.
Whoa, early from Victor.
In third round, wow.
Paranoia as
Round
well.
3 and
It was
he's
just
his
in
ult
case
already because
somebody
they've been
was
farming it.
running fast up elbow from Som. So really getting baited out there into thinking that Zekken was...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on this Neon. This Neon is not that good.
I mean, it's only been 2 rounds.
It's just like, even so, the idea of like the Neon this year. I don't know.
I
Wow,
think-
they just killed 2 people, they didn't see either of them.
That there's going to be a flood
That's
attempt coming out by
unlucky.
NRG. I wanted to praise the
Jinx.
calling that they were stacking out with as many bodies as they were.
I think Neon is good on this map,
Yeah, in the
though.
macro
I
understanding
just
is
don't think
absolutely
we've
there.
really
They
been
realized
getting
that Sen were coming in to
anything
beat.
out of it these last
Hard,
2
yeah.
maps. Yeah.
But just
I don't know, the way they're
angles that
playing
are
just
tough
seems so
alongside
bad with Neon.
walls. And bullets find their heads. Great prediction. Som's walking down mid. Could he catch a timing here? Makes up.
Oh, here's the cams. Looking for it.
Wow,
Finds it.
that's
It's a good
rough.
kill.
Spots crashes too. The second does onto the entry. Still play a disadvantage.
Like, Neon just seems so much like Utah with it. They have 1 KO
set it
flash.
up,
Hero
yeah.
play. Instead,
I
going
do
for
think
a
with Breach,
disadvantage
like
retake.
layering Breach utility with
Yeah.
Neon
They
is
have
so
some smoke
good.
to play around. Everybody in B main though, these post plants, they work so often.
But again, I am really curious to see how this Sova plays out. I've not watched Team Heretics play, so I don't really know
Feeling
a
at
bit.
least 2 of them. Flash forwards. The time ticking. Anybody going to be able to getting themselves onto the spike, seeing if they can isolate some of these fights again. No one has been sticking this spike or putting any pressure onto it this entire time. Some finally on it, but
Wow.
he's going to be
Are we
taken
gonna
out.
defuse?
From the defuse, fault line there, crashes now, has to stick this one all the way, and it needs to be defended.
What?
Just looking in entirely the wrong place.
How was no one sticking there?
Comes up huge.
I think they were all trying to push
Another big
to like
round
take
from
control
Celsius.
of B main.
Following
That was
up
always
with
the
his
problem we
ace
had.
from
We
map
didn't have
one.
someone like sticking them up.
Yeah.
That's a bonus.
But like even if
round.
there
Everyone just always
is,
ran it down.
Those
Wow.
post-plants, even if you
That is so
that's
fucking unlucky.
Yeah.
But look at these
Those are their 2 entries.
NRG are stuck in a 3v5 to start things off. It was incredible that they managed to pull things back into a winnable situation, or one where SEN had a lot of pressure on them. But if one person had been on that defuse a little earlier, maybe it could
Oh,
have
he's
made all the
toast.
difference.
the hell is Tens up to? Okay. I mean,
Tens always plays with the elevation so much on this map.
Plays
That's
inside the smoke.
insane.
He was anti-flash.
Like every time you play
dropping
against
down
Sentinels, you
inside
just
there,
have to expect that Tens is going to be at some sort of
Yeah.
elevation, especially on this map.
Yeah, the top market.
It was that, yeah.
We literally called it 10 after he
It-
got the 3K.
It was, and he consistently does it, and
After
it
he
just
did that to
doesn't.
us, we started calling that 10.
But even on like Ace spawn,
even
like
came to be.
Ace CT spawn, he
Yeah.
plays
Talked a little
there
bit
too.
about
Like
how
there's a
these
lot of
players were all
spots.
friends, right? And I think NRG have
He just plays around
He
the
gets to
elevation
play
too
up top.
much.
in the past has been a bit cliquey in a bad way.
Yeah.
But I think in this situation,
Holy, what an
it just
angle.
works so nicely.
Like, he had ult there, Neon, no you to, like, I
The
don't know.
humility you need to be able to
That's
go
not
back
good.
to finesse as Ethan and say, mate, I thought I could do it, but actually I can't.
It's a hard job.
Can you come
IGL,
back?
yeah, stepping up to that challenge.
You genuinely need to be such good friends with somebody, I think, to or have absolutely
They
no
fixed
ego
my audio.
whatsoever to be able to do something like that
30 seconds left.
and not allow your pride to get in the way.
Yeah. Pretty standard utility being used by Sentinels just on this take, and it's a nice and pretty wrapped up anti-eco. Up to 4 now.
This is light work.
Yeah, but to
to
follow
go
on
back
that
to-
from NRG's
Great
perspective,
critique.
Finesse and Som are coming back into a team that has not been set up for success just yet. Obviously, they're coming in to try to save the season, get them over towards champs, but that is going to be a difficult path.
Yeah. That's why I said, I mean, I feel like these changes they've made, bringing in, you know, Finesse and Som, it has to be like a multi-year thing. I don't think you can expect success into the second half of the year when it's this late them coming in. If they make champs, I mean, great, sure.
They're certainly going to try.
Yeah, but you can't really set your expectations there.
Yeah, Finesse has talked about that as well. He was asked, I think it might have been in an interview with Pedro Romero, like, do you think you can do it? Are you capable of it? And he said, that's the wrong way of thinking about it. You just have to prove it to yourself step by step every match.
Easy control of sight there.
Yeah.
Not just
Here,
that
looking to
utility.
play a retake as Zekans shows
I found
that
It's hard to
Hold
hold
the B
sight
side.
with the Sen's
NRG's
comp.
composition now in another spot where they have to
Yeah,
try to
NRG.
use as little utility as possible
No,
to take the
it's hard
side
for
back
NRG
so
to
that they can
hold
keep putting
sight
pressure B main.
with Sen's
And
comp.
Sen are already one step ahead.
Devil
looking for
Watts
that
is
read.
Yeah.
As Zelsa's John are in mid.
It's John QT, man.
Like for the streets,
Dagger in
like,
the
what do you
dark.
like shock darts?
Silver
Silver
as well.
drone, like,
Flank as
I don't
Zelsa's
know.
coming in through.
I don't think so.
It's being watched
Silver
for
and Neon
Finesse,
is just
still
not good
holding
there.
in. Crashes now. The fuse onto half.
They're
There's
sticking
nobody
it.
sticking this one.
There you
Once again,
go.
this one off. It's only
Go,
bullets
that's a
flying
stick.
forwards and away, but still half gain. Some sticking.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Nothing
around.
to deny.
There you go. They're on the board. Oh wow, they made that expensive. Oh,
NRG again.
Wow.
Yes, they lose every player.
Even
they
though, like,
did make that
2.5K,
expensive. Yeah.
3K.
Wow.
Fairly shambolic, actually. It's going to have to be an eco coming out of that one. But the big difference
Crashes
as to
two
why
off
they
ults.
win the
Crashes is
round
one
in
off
that
his
retake
ult.
is that they got people on spike early.
Have him play
Crashes
back
managed
and
to
use it
almost get the
for.
full stick before
Right
he
angle.
got killed. And yeah, the denial.
Yeah,
of
if they
that
had like a,
Yeah,
I don't know,
coming
like
through as
something
well.
to
it's a
slow
Pyrrhic victory.
down
I mean, look
the
at the.
takes more,
I guess they're going to
would
invest
be even
into
better.
it, but
But they just don't have anything
Guardians.
for that right now.
Half armor. Don't know how much util they're really able to get.
I feel like to
together.
compensate for that, they
Must
should be,
win round for
or
NRG.
it's better to like
Otherwise,
aggress a
their
little
economy
more.
really is dire, and they're down 5-1, 6-1. The first half spiraled away at that point.
Deep drone now. In through mid, clearing its way. Sentinels hiding any traces that they were in that spot. John QT just pre-firing. Actually does catch the cam that was heard earlier. So FNS got that deep line into B.
They're not doing
We aren't
anything.
seeing the same level of tactical depth that we see from Heretics when they play this comp. You know, none of that mid-re-clear, none
Can't
of the
set up
fast
any
set
traps.
plays,
They're not doing anything.
none of really the aggressive
Sitting
re-clear
there, like,
strategies into B
Neon's
main.
cut on its own.
Either, but that's
I think the
to be
round where they
expected.
did
Heretics
Ethan's
have been
flash
scrambling
and
together since October.
Victor took control
This
of A
team
with
has
Neon,
not.
early round was really good,
A lot
but
of
they
people
just
will
need
be
to keep.
questioning, you know, when we're making comments
Yeah,
like
they
that,
just did
right,
that
we're saying,
once,
well,
that
this
was
team
it.
has been together for a long time in the past. But the trouble is, Valorant evolves. It's a different game. It doesn't stay in the same state. We've even had a
30
rapid,
seconds left.
you know, switch up and
Farming is
change
over.
up with the patch recently. You might think that's in the favor of a team like NRG, but
Constantly
Like, look
farming
at their
sauce.
breach.
Building
He
back
just
up.
stunned 2 people back.
make sure the map
Yeah.
pool is up to scratch.
Another retake situation.
I think NRG lost an
Two
agent slot.
flashes,
I
but no
don't know.
fragment for
Rash.
Ethan.
It's proactivity.
Ooh.
It's
Oh,
them
that's
getting
so
right now for
rough.
Sentinels, and look at that.
Like he literally
Hookline
can't do it.
sinker. It's Victor who's going to be course.
Hey, that flash is insane.
Beautiful
Wow.
flash now with the refight. NRG.
That's a great flash.
Wanna make a go of this one.
And they got to win this round.
Do indeed. The knife forwards and a
Oh,
Nice.
that was
Wow, he has
evolving.
ult.
ahead that is finally killed and collected. These bullets are
I think, yeah, NRG wins this round.
spraying away.
That
It's a really
good
good flash,
Like I
too.
said, it was a must-win round for
Big.
NRG.
Because they know that they pushed Victor pretty hard, and since they were all out of positioning, they immediately like, counteracted
I
that.
was worried there when he was reloading out on the jump
Heard that by just
but did a
immediately.
nice job of things.
Look at that. Just
Activity was
immediately.
beautiful from Sen, and
They would play
NRG were a
close like
little
that.
slow to deal with it. But a paranoia and a recon combo was all they needed to get
TP
back
in
in
though.
through that spawn angle. Win the round, upgrade all of their rifles, and create a nice little bit of pocket change to work with heading forwards. Now NRG have got 4 players over
Maybe
towards
they
edge.
were lost.
But I mean, it looks like we're going to be heading into a time. Oh no, the timer was paused for a moment there, but not going into the tack.
He's
Flash overhead. Even with that, stands as a fault line and a reface.
Like, see, now they tried doing aggression
Yeah.
like you were saying, and
No one
like,
else to really
they just
capitalize off of
countered
this
it.
one. So Sentinels,
And so he dies. He's
advantage
out of the
game.
room.
Last store from playing really slow. Waiting out the util, waiting
I just
out
think
the
there wasn't
aggression.
enough support there.
This push down mid is
Striking
quite
after the
nice, though.
fact.
This push down mid is lovely because they're still trying to deal with some spamming into that smoke, so they're not thinking about mid here, Sentinels. NRG have taken a lot of space and have still got a lot of information. That B main trip continues to tell NRG.
Oh, crashies.
Oh wow! They were all holding him.
Yeah.
Overstepping things may be just a tad. If he'd
Timing
allowed
could
the
have been
play to
good
go
there.
into B, it would have had
Yeah.
an awesome
That would have been
timing.
insane. Second.
And now a 3v5.
Sentinels even realizing themselves. Oh boy, that was
He
intended
forgot the
for
bombs.
10 seconds to maybe get that plant online for A, but at least
Okay.
still has the space and positioning.
You figure out.
Think he's gonna do anything off this, or is he just?
Giving them
I think
anything at all for NRG. Doubled up together.
30
Ollie.
seconds left.
Oh wow, that's a
Aim.
tight
Aim
angle.
as to be expected from Tens.
Oh,
A spray down just can't quite be completed there for the 2-piece. Sassy. Drop down the spike, spots the last.
wow.
It's an easy round to the IGL. 5-2 now, that scoreline. Sentinels, it is their map pick.
Eco now.
To be expected
Yeah.
to a degree, I think, as
Yeah.
well. There would be that dominance, but you can really see it, man. I mean, they have a full understanding of the way they
They're
want to
gonna invest a little bit. Maybe they have a set play off this with the
Probably.
investing. Yeah.
It's like what this is what I mean. They did that on Lotus too. They ran it down in a full gun round. Then like when they saved the next round, they played default.
Yeah.
Like save for this, like they ran it down last round in a full buy, and now they're gonna have to come up with a play
ready
yeah.
for it, and Celsius
on the save round, which is like
shut that one down.
now you do it. Last
Almost
round you
a
should
little
have
too
done that.
easy compared to the chaos that we had on Lotus. The crowd here mostly sent
Oh my god, that guy has a little
Just
headband.
kind of a sense of contentedness, pal.
been enjoying the show, right?
Yeah, 5-2 up, everything feeling like it's in control of Sen. NRG with a couple rounds that they strung
Can't
together,
tell what they're
but nothing
chanting.
really concrete to work around.
There they go. Let's go Sentinels. Let's
ROG.
go NRG. That's what they go.
Nothing really
Frog.
crazy.
Public of
Public of
Gamers.
And just to
Gamers.
think about things from Sen's point of view, obviously NRG are the ones that have made the explosive change and hit the panic button.
Yeah.
Sen would have wanted to go to Shanghai. They wanted to be there. John said it was devastating to have to watch in Shanghai and not be able to play.
Wow.
It was itching
10 and
to play.
5.
But like
Yeah.
you said, it's allowed them a little bit of free space to work on themselves.
What is 3-3 on the other
After
teams?
Madrid, they said
That is their
They
record
felt
for
like other
the
teams caught up to
season.
them. They didn't have the time to work on themselves.
Yeah.
And so there's a good reason why Sen were favored in this match. Although, like the desk was saying, there were so many unknowns because of the gap.
The gap and a patch change.
You know, you're never confident.
Haven
And
back
Razor
in, for
again
example,
too.
even though it got first banned by NRG.
I know, Finesse first round banning Haven. I didn't think I would see the day.
The new king of hell, Demon1.
Moral,
Hopefully.
thank you for the tier 1
Just for the
appreciate you.
fans' sake. That's not a permaban for the rest of the stage, because I'd love to see him
Want to
call on
see
that.
Haven being played, man.
Yeah.
That wasn't Russian. Or his name wasn't in
But
It
Sen
was
playing
it's supposed to
slowly
be.
here.
I was just
The-
reading
Oh,
it.
you were pronouncing it
I was
like
just-
it was Russian.
I was just pronouncing
Three
it
or 4 players over
phonetically.
towards the A site, and now they've just let Finesse to
Urali.
kind of hold it.
Yeah.
They might have assumed that Sen were going to run a fast play over in that direction.
El Diablo's
Since it
dead,
didn't
the
happen
new
at the
king of
beginning,
hell,
now it's
Demon1.
Lilac, thank you for the gifted tier 1, bro. I appreciate it.
This might be a crazy comment from me, but I mean, FNS's position, it feels very committal into the site. He's
Yeah.
really got to get something done here.
Gonna
His
play off
trips,
all those trips.
Yeah.
Not really able to play off
Or
of
they
him. He's just
slow
holding the
against
cam
fire.
for any sort of contact.
Yeah, I think it's... I mean, he's got a cage to play around, but I think it's quite likely Zekken would pre-fire that spot if he tried to
Well, they're
lob
not
it.
even going there.
So he's probably dead. Maybe can take one with him if Zekken does decide to showstopper exec.
They're just gonna work the map a little bit and probably go back to John Kitty with info since they have him all the way inserted there. Because look, it's just Zekken going in a
Options to even have. I mean, there's no signs of life
They don't
anywhere.
have time.
Sentinels are left really just scratching their
shit,
heads. They're
you're
wondering which
right. I
side is
didn't
going
even
to be
realize
free.
the time.
Showstopper
think they're
has to be
fine.
used.
No,
That's no
he's
command
not
to
fine.
answer it, so Ethan he can quickly rip away that ult advantage.
What?
But it doesn't stop
Wow.
the gun. Bullets flying straight forward. Paranoia dodged
Oh,
and
that's
avoided.
the
Still
drone.
tagged up second. Close to
And then
the
you
kill.
had 4 here.
yeah.
They didn't even play it.
They were
straight.
scared of it too because of the Raze ult. I think that's the main reason why they gave him so much respect. Just because they had Zekken's Raze ult.
Absolutely nobody that can match this
And so they were
guy's
gonna play
freak.
for like the fast retake, I assume.
Finesse is on the other side of the map, by the way.
Diablo's dead.
Yeah,
Because
so I
Did you
was
say
thinking
no?
that's here, man.
0 point. The knife from Ethan.
Wait, they had 4 there, 4
Cutie
spawn.
and elbow.
Instead of 4 on the
And so
bomb
Finesse
plate.
still thinks that John is
I think it's
there.
really
They
hard
just
for
were
them
in
to
the
play.
cycle there.
It's really hard for them to
So they just have to
bounce it
run that
anyways
retake
because
without their
of
cypher.
Raze ult. And Sassy still has his ult
Tragic
too.
situation.
He just got it.
And
okay.
Celsius
Oh, he stood out.
staring across. I think he knows what they just did.
Beep, beep.
Another situation, Bren, though, where
The Yanni
NRG
stream.
actually have to read on where to stack.
Johnny watching the team play.
The site that Sen are going to hit. Like, the defensive info play is actually working quite well. But their ability to get in and put pressure on Sentinels, it's just not quite there. Zekken found the perfect timing just as Victor was getting his arms into sprint mode. And NRG's economy ruined again here. This is looking very dominant on Sunset.
Yeah, super dominant. The Sentinels straight back into the swing of things here into stage 2. Talked about whole team really looking for a chance to, get their right footing underneath them. I think for teams like Sentinels, where they took the off-season so seriously, full practice, full intention of actually winning something for once. They finally win Madrid.
Oh,
Victor.
wow.
Make me eat my words now, going into storytelling mode, but okay, eventually players toppling, containing themselves against the anti-eco.
Hi, Neptune.
But it's difficult, I think, for a winning team that puts the full focus to really get back into the mode and the mindset of trying to win again.
And yeah,
That's
just
the
said-
whole squad
No, yeah.
swinging on
Sentinels
you.
players
You
have
can't
spoken
touch
about
there.
how good the break has been for them.
Thanks, little man.
Absolutely.
Getting back into that right mindset.
Not looking good right now for
And while
us.
Sen are somewhat expected to be able to make champs, and a lot of people in America are looking at them as, one of the favored teams.
There's so much
to
util
go and
trading
represent
happening because
Americas,
it's just such
despite the
a,
fact they
yeah,
didn't earn
both
the right
last,
for Shanghai.
last
On the other
match,
side of things,
like
on the flip
last
side
map
for
and
NRG,
this map
they're
have
like
been
the
both
outside shot that's really got
a lot of util
massive
trading. It's been very fast
uphill battle
paced.
to even get into that position. And I know that we've been shooting a lot
Especially
of
Sunday,
bail for
like,
NRG
constantly
on this map.
together,
It's
okay.
not competitive
Feels
what
so
we're
much.
watching. No, it really isn't. And again, you should expect that because NRG have not been together as a
NRG
roster for
haven't
that
been
long,
that
and this is
really.
not their map pick as well. So it's probably not where they put as much
They're
time
playing
in.
together a
But
lot more, and I see a
for
lot
all
of their like
caveats that you
plays
can
and stuff.
add into the expectations for this team.
Drowning definitely
The
looks a lot
reality
better.
of
They
it
have a bit
is,
more
they
structure.
can really only drop like one match in stage 2.
Yeah.
If they lose here to SEN, and then they lose another game against any of the competition they're going up against, it's devastating for their chances. It essentially rules them out. Maybe not mathematically just yet, but it probably will in the long run. So this team's in a spot where they gotta pick their game up super fast.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Crashes there, trip, okay. Slight connection, but no one upon it.
Do you have to trip and no one even killed him in the trip?
Yeah.
That would never happen. I'd instantly get one tapped if I had a
I
trip.
remember when you were playing Raze on this map, and you got like,
Holy shit.
he
Like,
is
look at it. We're
feeling
just
it.
running in one by one.
Seek to do some damage.
No util, no nothing. We're
The
just
trade-off
going
is
in there.
not much more forward.
Peace, Val. Thank you for the prime.
The
Appreciate
retake
it.
time in there. It's a single flash from Ethan that Crashies tries to swing with. Doesn't wait for Victor. And Sen, once more, winning a dominant round where they get the site for free, navigate past the Cypher utility, and then easily deal with a pretty sloppy retake. And that's been the story of this map so far.
Yeah, it's been pried open, I think, at this point. NRG being tested in that aspect of their gameplay. They haven't been up to scratch.
The coordination and how tight they are just isn't quite there to run a composition like this that relies on everything being in the right place at the right time.
I don't think I've seen.
When you watch the top teams play with this kind of comp, every T is crossed, every I is dotted. And that is really difficult.
Zack's one off ult again. He just used it like, yeah. Oh, that sucks. Unlucky. You're just kind of open. But that's why it's so hard for NRG to play on site against SEN, because they just take it so quickly.
The danger zone still tagged up, and Ethan will finally punish. Still, Victor from
oh
behind.
wow, Victor.
Wait, first Neon impact?
Wow. That was really good impact though.
Yeah. On his way back up now to this rolling thunder. Full connection. Up into the air. Still it's a 1v2. There is a lot to do. Zelsis here in a tap, a couple of spray, reveals his position.
Hard for him to win.
Wins this fight out, it's an important one. Nobody's still sticking this
I'm
one.
actually,
He realizes that you can play your time now, Zelsis. You can really slow this one down if you so wish. 6 bullets left in the chamber. What can you do with it? Ethan sticking, twisting, turning.
Oh, wow.
Jesus. We can't catch a break, bro. It's over. Pack it up. Pack it up. This is a loss. You can't even win that round. You just win that one of these games.
I can't believe how much value he's getting out of the SEN Classico again. I mean, he finished the ace with the SEN Classic on map 1 and pulls it out to do the dirty work again to Ethan's head. While Ethan's just spinning, desperate, helpless on
That was
the
like
floor.
so good too. The Neon finally had impact with the sun, the flame.
No, I thought they had really. It was a really good round. It's just that it came down to that 2v1 time and everything.
It's rough.
Shoot, I think
it's unfortunate that it's a fair likelihood we might not even get to see very much of them on the attack side to get to answer that question about whether they look better there.
Like ults wise even, just like think about it. We have Slovo with the Neon ult. Those are like
looking primed and ready.
What do you even do with those ults on defense? You can't do anything.
In the first half of
I just think a breach would be
There's
really.
no opposition
smart
pushing away
with
from
the
Elbow.
Neon.
This comp is not it.
It's a refight, flash over the top as well with the
They finally did a fight, but like it wasn't a mid
feels
that comp
improv-y,
fight.
really at best there from NRG. They're looking
It was
for a
one
way to
piece
get
of
back into
Yuto,
this
just the
round.
KO
Ethan
flash.
Very committed now.
Yeah, they
onto this
definitely need a
corner.
lot more.
Tucks his way deep onto the side with a knife at least. Seeing that there's 3 players there, he's got his back to plenty of them. Ten's going walkabouts, crashes, an important kill for him to collect. Ethan, no, what is that? Somehow they want to make it work and make it happen for them. 1 now to stand here. This final round of the half, Hunter's Fury.
Oh, nice.
On time.
NRG making it feel like it's heading in a different direction. And now make the
That's a
pivot
classic
now.
nothing. Did he forget to buy?
Oh yeah.
He forgot to buy!
800 credits.
He forgot to buy!
Forwards and flying, still Sentinels.
Oh, Vic.
Still holding on to
Vic,
Can't win these
Vic.
fights out in
Probably
RG.
focus.
Trying their hardest, try as they may.
Vic,
Still,
Vic.
Sentinels
Oh,
never, ever really
damn.
taking these solo fights. Always
I
doubled
didn't
up,
see
always with an
anything that
advantage
happened.
in some way or form, and Crashies is left to pick up the pieces.
That girl's
Look
screaming.
how SEN also got their players into
Oh,
the
we're
site
not
to
locked
actually
in.
challenge NRG. as
We
they
just
went
want to
for
go
the
home,
hit.
huh?
That's not at all the way that NRG were playing when they were on defense. They were passive, a little scared, sat over by Boba, not willing to throw that utility in and flood
The
defenders
pissed
off.
around.
30 seconds left.
Crashies essentially in an
Biggest
unwinnable
round of
spot
the
here.
half.
The rest of the team is just going to be sat silent,
You're gonna
realizing
force next.
that this
Yeah,
is
they have
not
to.
the beginning they wanted to stage 2. And the record likely to be going 3 and 4. Sassy picks it up. And 10-3 the scoreline. SEN dominance on Sunset.
Yeah.
Look at the way that they play the defense, right? They're using the paranoia early. They're using the flash early as well.
That's actually crazy. They forgot to buy.
Through Boba, not playing for full retake, playing to help John when he's anchored in that position, and playing to put pressure on the attackers.
The Suns map.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
NRG
forcing.
forced to force.
Let's see what they do on their
Too
fourth.
really at this
Run
point.
for
They're just gonna do something fast again. I feel like they're gonna do pissed around again, but like now with
armor at play.
Vic having a gun actually, maybe.
Full mid control. And actually going to be given a lot of space here, but just gliding forwards.
He just doesn't even get to play the game.
Draw blood straight from NRG. Flash.
Like what happens to me the whole year? You just don't get to play the game.
There's a collection. There's a double face by the Sentinels players, but they're going to be toppled for their mistake now. It's a 3v3. Signature moves being made by NRG as well, calling for that pause. Around that minimum.
The 3 though.
Oh
wow.
The stinger control on that.
Stinger.
I could never. Me personally, I could never.
And now you can hear it with the
Wow.
footsteps.
God.
It points it directly towards the easiest kill of his life. Now it's 11-3.
And the Force even not finding value for NRG. A tragic spot. They might have to buy up again with odds and ends. As they realize the inevitable is happening. I mean, Sunset is definitely going the way of Sen at this point.
From that range, yeah, that's
an inexorable
crazy
tide
region
of rounds headed towards Sen. You can see Finesse knows it.
So
they're going to take that time
Yeah,
out.
I think they know they're
Just
playing
to look
against the
forward
Separate
towards the future
plays
as well
that
here as we head
side of
towards
the
what
map. Every
looks
time
like
always
the
plays
end of this match.
they-
NRG, it does not
them to
get
break
any
that chip.
easier for them. Their upcoming
But
schedule
like, just be aware.
sees them face it
'Cause
off
they had a
against
whole-
G2.
they just
They had a
ran in
whole-
there.
The start of all of the
Not just that, but he
Americas
had
teams
like
at Shanghai.
5 seconds
Then
or something
playing
and he was
against
still being hit by
Korea,
the trip.
who
He ran in there, he looked at the trip, he was like, oh, someone's gonna break that. So he kept on looking like onto the next
Yeah,
angle.
that's really
0-9,
unfortunate.
but this year,
No slouches.
and while obviously Finesse has been co-streaming them, Crew are looking really strong. And then finishing off the season with a game against Cloud9, who, you know, up and down, but when they're up are a dangerous team to play against as well. So, and a reminder
Your
that
go-to
NRG
drink,
can
huh?
barely afford to drop.
A series.
Yeah, like a little white
they can't
cup.
afford to really drop a series after this.
My last match
Why
I
kind of
drank
went
was
into this
the
entire
Rockstar
match,
energy
which
drink.
sounds odd, but just thinking about, okay, this has to be.
Before that, it
making a
was
decision like this,
Celsius,
you hit
and
the
then
panic
before
button.
that was
A
Monster.
multi-year decision.
It's like those three are
Surely,
my top
surely,
three.
Yeah.
right? You're just trying to build
Celsius,
up chemistry,
Does
trying
Riot
to build up the map pool,
they provide?
look towards the
No.
future. It
Your
sounds
org
odd,
does?
but
Yeah,
I
Riot
mean, the
only
chances
gives
were
you
so
Red
slim
Bulls
anyway.
on the stage.
They've gone for
Unless you bring
chemistry
your
in the
own.
short term because they thought that that was the better option. It is, I think, inarguably a downgrade in firepower for this NRG team.
yeah.
Having Demon1 on the bench and Marv cut, but they were hoping that the extra coordination and chemistry would allow players to shine. And there's
Quite
Victor
nice.
with the Bulldog.
Wow.
Like, this looks
That's
good.
really good. That
Like
was
at this
really
point, he's doing that because like
Seconds, so he's just a sitting.
he's playing with like, oh, the fact that yeah we lost.
See, this is like what you
This is
expect
good.
from Neon. Yeah, this is really good.
It's just like
He's allowed to go.
replicating
he's allowed
this
to do
is
it.
like so hard. He popped all he really wants to. Oh, anti-Vic.
Anything. Oh.
He really wanted it. He
But
had
that's the thing,
he had a
they
phantom
just gotta,
too.
like, let him be
Yeah.
Neon, you know.
All right. 11-4
That's just
score
hard.
there.
You can't do that on
Still with some
defense.
fight in them.
And then it's rare to have moments like that to have an attack.
Of course, it's that same
That's
opponents,
really
by the
good.
way, because these teams are in the same.
That was a good round. That was NRG's best round out of the last entire two maps.
Oh, he's so
Been
happy.
difficult for NRG towards the
Nice
future. They
sound,
still
what do
do
you
apply
mean?
the Sentinels.
Oh,
The
right.
thing with Sen, though, is they have that amazing.
He looked like he was excited.
He
was like,
looks
yeah.
sad.
Doing so
Having
well at
fun
the start of the
around.
year. That victory in Madrid. Having such fantastic.
Alright, I
repercussions
struggle with
there
reading
that underdog
emotions,
year.
okay? We get it.
Struggle with reading
Play
mine.
with the fault line
I
here.
He's
struggle
just
with
straight
reading
face all
all
the time.
emotions.
For that refight, hoping that there would be a player sitting out wide out of position.
Tens up on top of the newsstand.
Whoa. Who's going to be spotting who first?
Yeah,
Not too
just
sure how the
remember
angle
what
works out.
it's
Victor,
like
he's got the
getting in
advantage.
for
He's
it.
further
Oh, see,
away.
he countered.
Which means that he's
countered
able to
the
spot the
Vic
toes
knew
there
Yeah.
for
fine.
Tens. Despite the fact that it
That
looks
was
like Tens is going to
That's
see
on
him
the
first.
spot there. You hardcore that when you play against them.
Flash here should pop Zekken off the angle, but he's going to quickly be able to recontest if he wanted to. Sen are incentivized to take more risks, I should say, in this spot.
Flash in the dart. Hello. You're caught into the corner.
Wow.
That's the new buff. The 100% accuracy while
Time,
sliding.
the paranoia is good and true. Lands it along with the flash.
Yeah,
Waves at
NRG's
Utah. They still
attack
have a move.
is so
Sassy though.
much. Really
Over
good.
the top. That's the Dizzy. Running and gunning. Gets the job
They're playing
done.
it like
This is looking nice from
Perfectly
NRG. They've
right now.
actually
This
got
looks
some
way
really good
better.
plans to set up Victor on this A site. It's going to require some adjustment from Sentinels. 7 rounds in the lead right now, but if they don't make the adjustments, it's going to get a little tighter. And their economy is not in an amazing spot here.
Yeah, Sentinel's forced to save.
Yeah, they have to save.
Yeah, they might look to try to play for some exits or
They don't want to
upgrade
risk
this
it.
Guardian.
Level 4, 11-5.
All of the guns
Then it's like
really
11-6.
far away.
Keep
The
money as
coordination
high
that
as
was
possible.
lacking a little bit on their defensive side and on the retakes, maybe just a lack of preparation on one half of the map, because so far I've been fairly impressed
NRG
once
also
the
used to
sides
keep
have swapped
their
with the way
guns
that
up,
Ethan
so-
and Victor are playing off each other.
Yeah, it's pretty nice actually. Dynamic duo.
Definitely.
But that's the kind of synergy you need to be present all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, the game is just so tactically deep right now. When people are having this conversation in the community about the level of play, you know, now compared to in the
Same there?
past,
Oh no. I don't even
when that
see him there.
former EG squad, the champions of last year, were syncing up tons of different ult plays all over, I feel like the tactical depth of just the rounds, even without the ults, has skyrocketed,
Oh my God, your check is
skyrocketed this
big.
year.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So
That
many
is
teams with
big.
so many
Yeah?
micro plays,
Why?
and that's the kind of stuff you need to build into the playbook.
Like
Normally it takes
my
a lot of
chatters
time.
and like the
Actually, you're
people
gonna have to speed
from,
on that, and it looks
that were
like
my regulars
you've got a
that
decent
chat, they're
basis on
normal
the
human
attack
beings.
side. Like we said, Sen gonna have to adjust, and they're
I don't
taking
know,
attack
reading your
time
chat
now to
just
figure out what to do about this.
Because despite the lead that
And
they've
it's
got
not
at
even like
11-5, it
10%
can
as
slip
bad as
out of your hands, especially when the money situation looks a little
the
bit
alarm
rough
would
now.
be.
And NRG
The alarm
have some veterans
makes
on
me
that
just
team.
wanna,
All
like,
we're talking about them
go to
not really
sleep
having
forever.
You guys are
quite
not
the
normal.
map depth as of now. So they haven't had a lot of time.
People
They
who
definitely
like
know
type
how
in
to
VLR
come back from
genuinely
around
just
here and there. They've
they have
definitely
to be
done it
like
themselves
12-year-old,
Yeah.
12
from
years
time
old.
to time.
Yeah, they've got good mentality on this
They're
team,
so angry
generally
at them.
speaking. It did look like they were a little dejected and thought they were out of it, but these last couple of rounds might have revitalized the spirit. For Sen, an adjustment that they can try to make, if you run 10s over towards elbow,
I could
you
be
can get
here.
a nice paranoia anytime the Neon decides to go aggressive, which I think is a pretty good counter. You don't have to throw the paranoia unless the Neon is in your face, so you're not going to waste that piece of utility. We've seen Leviathan run set up a bit like that with their defensive protocol that King runs.
The crowd.
But it's an eco round here, so that tight timeout not really going to be for what they go for this round. Looking to try to
I have a
apply some
trap
pressure though
here.
with a bit of a retake here. Nade.
Does he
Is
need a
he?
nade? Yep, it's as soon as...
Oh wow.
Fed into the blender.
Yeah, all right.
Zek and
Yeah.
Sassy turned into mulch to feed the roses. I mean,
Yeah.
no chances there.
It's a cheeky idea that
boy,
was
but
cooked
they
up
got the
though by
kill.
Sen on the eco. Didn't work to fruition, and everybody's going walkabouts, obviously seeking
See, this is really good though.
make a play.
They have-
Ten?
Oh.
Ah,
Too bad they're not going with you. Just
Yeah.
continue.
Watching this one, the trap was
he's got another
Okay.
trip, yeah.
Go on, do the limbo under that as
I
well.
don't think it's
Yeah.
going to work that
They have
time.
so much like
Give it a try.
it's gonna
Give
work
it a
this
try.
time.
Get under it.
There's no shot. There's no shot. There's no. This is going to be heard.
Finesse. Finesse.
oh
my
my
God.
god, if he had a gun,
If he had, if
had
he
a
picked up
gun-
the sheriff, yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, he missed quick
John,
by
I think, meant to
accident.
go into the cam there potentially, not too sure, but fires away a shot, reveals himself. Tom whips out a gun just in time. That was a strange one.
That's a lovely, silly round there.
Yeah.
Lovely, silly round.
11-6. FKO.
Tactical timeout probably to make an
Wonderful.
adjustment.
They're
for
all
this
half
for their
armor
team.
on
And we
Sentinel.
see an op in the hands of 10s. So I was talking about putting 10s over in elbow. You start the round with paranoia prepped. Not throwing it off rip, but just holding it. But it looks like instead they want to post him up with an operator. I think that's going to be tough against this team comp. He is in elbow. So what are they looking to do here? Just play him supportively with the op?
Yeah, looks like it. Maybe debate and switch. That can be in debate.
Yeah. And the
tagged up by
paranoia just
the-
kind of thrown out there.
Yeah, I think it's because Zekan was tagged up by the knife, so we couldn't use the second satchel to get out. They were worried about them following up on it, but are they going to expect this cage up?
Ooh.
It's nice. It's real nice, actually. TP
That was good, dude.
backs away. Zekan still committed. There needs to be a shot found, but no connection
NRG's
again.
like
This
conversion
time
rate
Zekan
on
falls,
A is
tends with the reposition.
consistently
Nice
getting
and quick on to this
pulled
one.
What on earth?
Lots of players, though, going to be hitting him.
He's got to hit
He's
some
He's a lot more
outrageous
difficult
shots here.
because
Yep,
I
onto the
think
shoulder!
he's in the-
And he misses it. Straight through the wall. Lucky to be alive is FNS, but he's
Everybody's
full
here.
health.
Yeah, but he's
everybody's
far
here.
ahead.
Body, make sure to meet them. Clearing that one with the aftershock. forwards, trying to make a play. Another flash peek, and the replay is just immaculate. Still,
Iron Squad holding
he's
up.
lining up now for these anchoring players. Tucked to the corner. Celsius last alive and the most to do. 4 bullets left. He needs to connect at least a few, and the pre-fire from Crashies will earn themselves a 2nd or 7th round, I should say, for NRG. They are steadily, slowly but steadily, earning their way back into it.
You might have been able to tell from the puzzle in my voice when I was talking about tens with the op in that round, but I genuinely think that was a horrible decision. To run tens with an operator in counter to this play, to me, it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
They're playing with a lot of pace. They have a large amount of utility to push you off angles, including stuns, cages. You've ruined your own economy now as well.
This is the hardest round.
So much in that round.
That's
to me,
thrifty.
that makes
You keep getting equal all
no
the time.
sense the way that SEN adjusted out of that tag timeout. And I think they've just opened the door for NRG. That's a baffling one.
Yeah, business is booming right now for NRG. If you look at the money situation and the off angle by tens, getting not rewarded.
Oh, what a shock dart!
That's crazy.
That's a crazy shock dart right there.
Right on the tens, but he was trying to go for the evacuation. Dizzy not pre-fire it though, and that does find it. Stun, nade.
Oh, Victor's dead.
Victor, he's not long for this world. Surely not one.
Oh, wow, he got back in there.
The movement, Sassy, he's somehow in there getting 2. But there's 2 left to stand. There's no way to SEN do this. You gotta be joking me. Rolling Thunder, pushing back. Crashies.
2v2. Oh wow.
Sky, the way he moves, is just fluid in action. Sticking now. Celsius needs to be held, needs to be defended. It's Second who takes the
What did I tell you?
Yeah.
The hardest round. NRG just can't win ecos.
That might be our
Bro.
There's no way they win that.
This should have been the
I literally said it.
to make the comeback a reality.
We've always lost ecos like this. Oh, Sassy got 2 like that.
Second cleans things up on 5 health, empowered by the Rolling Thunder. That's ridiculous.
4 ults now.
Zeken's monstrous performance on Lotus carried through massively in the first half and delivered there in round 19.
No time wasted for Victor. Jump spots those good.
They're still doing the operator setup. Oh, but the stun misses this time. And Tens this time able to reposition into a spot where maybe he can have more success.
That's a spawn. That's a one-way smoke that they've used to try and get themselves in. I think they expect the Tens to be up on top of it. Flash. And forwards. That's Victor.
Wow, he stays in that angle.
Come on from the angle, and this is the impetus. The round that really matters.
Yeah.
Victor.
They flashed him and he hit them
Into
from
his
it.
own hands here with a Hunter's Fury. Maybe they can set the stage. Spike's been picked up. When the hell are they going to start to plan this one? But it's hot feet for John QT.
Oh, he has another side now.
I know.
He's so fast.
This is still winnable.
Not inside.
Yeah, he's so fast right now.
And all this util being picked
His
up.
ult is
50
running out.
seconds left. Still, Crashes on alert. Has been caught and found. And the TP reposition of Som. He wants to try and make his way over towards B. Easy access to the site.
Victor's got 9 lives in this round. He's dodged everything that was coming at him.
It's on 150 health
them.
still.
Yeah. But at the same time, still has a difficult task to do.
Yo, they're
Combined
low.
HP tiny for Celsius and Zeken. Can Victor find the timing?
A lot lies onto this one.
Oh,
Victor.
Vic. I think he's gonna ace. He still has a
Now they know
slide
you're
too.
positioning still into this 2v2, and this is the map, and this is the series doubled up. Shoulder to shoulder, Sentinels now gonna take this one with a bit of that discipline. The Mosh flying, Song finds it. And they've earned themselves
Oh my God,
more
Vic.
breathing room.
Victor's just saving you right
What a
now.
star Victor has been on this attack side.
Victor Neon is really, I mean, again,
Really
he's someone
leaning
that's
into his
like
experience
made
of
it
Neon.
popular. He made
Basically.
Neon
But
popular.
the agent has changed very recently. Look at this movement. Getting up onto John, dodges Thrash, dodges the showstopper with some of the cleanest moves. The backward slide making full use of the added mobility now onto Neon.
I would get so mad if I was
He's now
playing against
overtaken
him like
Zeken in
that.
terms of
Yeah.
kills.
It's just so hard.
We talked about no individual really stepping up on NRG, and I think that was accurate for the first 3 halves of this
Their
match.
second time.
Across
No, this is their
Lotus,
first season.
and then on the
Now they're
defense side of
competing,
Sunset, nobody on NRG was really finding that magic. But this time, Victor, empowered by a lot of the utility and
You believe
finding
in
these
it?
individual moments, is starting to
it's
really
possible.
bring it
Honestly,
when his team
That's
needs
12
to make
already.
it come back a
Yeah.
reality.
One mistake and
but I
they
mean,
lose.
also it's been
Keep
really
it
hard
going, at least for 4 more rounds.
round
Drag your way over towards
this
OT.
half.
To
regardless.
last timeout.
So there is
Taken
still a
by
chance.
Sentinels, the last one
They're
here.
looking really good
Regular
right
time in
now.
Yeah.
Sunset.
Yeah, I mean, by the way,
NRG's,
Tens
like,
did run
attack
the
is
operator again. He got
going
1
up.
kill
Yeah.
with
It's very
it. More
strong.
passive reposition, but then
Especially
just got
their
run
ace
over
side
by
and
Victor in that round.
Yeah.
I don't think that
good
has
control,
legs.
like,
I
good
don't
map.
see
Yeah.
really why you would opt for it. I'd like to see him just pick up the rifle. But of course, in this
Only an
round,
18 now.
he's one of the only players that can pick up a rifle because the economy is once again in shambles for SEN. Can NRG make this a reality and take us to OT?
Yeah.
It would be a ludicrous one.
There is a high chance.
Yeah, NRG won
Surely they
5
have to
rounds
stumble
now.
at some point. There's just too
Very
many
good.
chances for one player on SEN.
That's what I mean.
to
4
pull out
rounds, right?
Something big.
But once
yeah.
again, this is the hardest round now. It's with Eco.
Thrifty.
And also,
I can
Sen
ring on
doesn't
this
have,
one
like-
3 of them, just the pistols, but
Yeah.
you just
They
never
had
know.
like 3 ults.
Yeah, all it takes is one big mistake on NRG's side or one huge play on the other. And SEN are always incentivized on these eco rounds to take risks, to gamble, to push, for example, John Cutie up into B main and try to catch somebody slipping.
I got you.
Surely to hear that one, yeah. It's going to be Dizzy receive. Finesse, though, was the one to contain this kill. Crosshair placement, little bit ajar. Still NRG are the ones who are following up with these kills. Did you expect John QT?
No,
Sticking together
they
is
certainly didn't over towards B main, and now John's going to be able to get a
Oh, and-
rifle.
and that is
This as
how
well.
we lose the
It's
eco.
actually going to make this one very doable. A 3v3 with rifles all across the board.
Yeah. Weaponry no longer really a problem here. The positioning
they have
is
no space.
no, they're all
3v3, they have
carried
3
essentially
guns.
into the back of the site. They have to really brute force their way and make some space. If you are NRG, if you want to stand a chance. One spotted, Paranoia. Only the one sweeping through.
Oh,
The other knife out.
good.
And some. Nice little transfer.
That's actually sick from Som. He jumped over the top of Ten's flash in order to make that a reality. And John's got it all to do, but I think this one's just too much. The time not in his favor either.
Led away entirely here, so consolation prize with the kills. It's the 9th round now for NRG.
And you got to imagine that NRG are going to head back to A, right? All of their rifle rounds, they've been finding success with Victor entering on the inside.
9-12.
So what is Sentinels going to do about that? You've got to have an answer. You've taken 2 tack timeouts now to fend off this comeback.
Enemy remaining.
Ah, look at that.
And still can't figure out how best to stop Victor's entry. So we're going to see a 4-player stack. I mean, if in doubt, just throw bodies in that direction, I suppose.
The read from NRG is just sublime.
Is Finesse back? Kind of looking like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is really nice. Coming into a rifle round, you expect Sen to have made the adaptation, and he's so correct.
What a read. What call.
Look at that take.
Yeah,
Taken.
good.
Victor's going to plant his feet in through the back of the site. So you can see if he can pull some of that util out, maybe get a cheeky
Have
kill
nade and breach.
inside the smoke.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, you either force utility out, that then your players in B main have a better time, or they don't use the util, trying to save it, and maybe you get some freebies,
There's
as he
Victor.
has done here.
He's really being pressured. One untraded, the one undone.
Finesse on the reflank, through market.
It's going to be a big one.
They're gonna play for spam.
Util's flying forwards. His door needs to be broken, and so he has revealed himself here finally.
Yeah, I don't think
John
they'll
T.
hit.
No way, he's sticking.
The stick.
Defended
the dart didn't get it?
forwards, it's broken. The flank, push back, still high. Can still be won, but again, they got a damage. And the Least land the kill.
Damn.
Wow.
It's looking good.
That's looking very winnable.
We're looking like we can get 11.
NRG finding their way through it again, though. Winning 7 out of the last 8 rounds. A superb comeback. I mean, Victor's really stepped up. Finesse calling a great adaptation there in that round. And also playing their B main post plants fairly well. Or having that extra layer of Finesse going on the flank. This attack side is looking so much better than their defense side.
Yeah.
And mostly just looking like more prep, more comfort there.
Doable.
I really didn't believe the idea of just give me 3
Like force
and
spot
Finesse is
this
going to call the rest to success, but hey, maybe it's a reality. They only need 2 more. Again, another hit onto B.
Yeah, they picked one bomb set and they're like,
Reading the mind game.
it works. And
Sen,
Yeah.
surely they'll go A this time. Nope.
Oh,
Another
this is gonna be
VCT.
so hard for the Sentinels to
Another
receive.
excellent read from Finesse.
That has to be the full retake.
This is good. This is looking like an NRG
It's the
one.
exact same round. Finesse in the same position. Victor deep onto site.
That's a good knife. He
Don't
disabled
play it
all
though
of
from
them.
the deep hole, the 10s.
Hit all 5. They have no util.
Oh my
They're going in
goodness.
dry.
Flash. No attempt to punish. He still wants to go for this one.
That was a
Over the
bit of
jar
an
from
overheat.
Sassy. But the wingman still active into the fight, trying to get onto this one.
Wait.
Defuse,
How
disrupted,
did we
and
just
broken.
die?
Mosh pit found. The kills are flowing. The feed is built up.
oh my god.
They have no time. They're out of
They
time.
literally
Did we win?
no, they, yeah. They
Oh my god, we
won.
won.
Goodness.
Oh
That's
my god.
ridiculous.
Wow.
Played that
Jesus.
so nicely.
They got
Ethan is
two
a
there
little distraction on the
too.
floor. Sol up on top inside of his own smoke. I was really worried.
It was
that
a 3v5.
played
We
the
won.
same
Post
setup.
It
fight.
wasn't half
Victor
at
got
all.
dealt with.
Yeah.
Finesse
I mean, they
instantly
couldn't.
read on his mid-lurk,
Yeah.
and I thought it's curtains, it's over. Sen understand what's happening, but no, here we are, round 24, and again, NRG changing things up, but this time Sentinels are
they're
ready.
going A.
Is the adaptation here? Can they stop the hit on A?
That's a good dart.
Corners though with the charge. and
Oh
still
my
can't
God.
land it. It's Victor. Reigns supreme into the elbow
That
area.
dart was big.
Wall propped up. Covers a bit of that space
He
here,
did
but what
dart
is the
or
call
Yeah.
out?
stun. That's what they
Pause
switched.
and patience to be played. Sassy re-exploration on his side of things. No punish in sight.
Oh
Celtics
my
defense.
God.
Now they're gonna wrap this one around with a thrash detainment. At least onto the one. And the kill is flowing either way. Spike dropped down. It's a
It's
2v2
going down to the wire.
This is
for the deciding
scary.
round.
How does
The series
Sassy
wrapped up.
live
Now
that
we're going
and
to
get
OT.
one?
That is great information from Finesse. He pops his ultimate, realizes that the retake is nowhere near.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Yes,
duo.
I know.
3 reposition. But now we're going to see
Omen
John
and
with one on
Omen,
the other
Cypher and
side.
Cypher as well.
So if John has the opportunity, it doesn't look like there's really a corpse for him to use though.
Up, down together.
Double up. Trying to put pressure.
Diablo's dead. There's
So
Victor
there it is.
now.
There's the
Demon1.
Oh, he ulted them.
He lobs it with a neurofef, gives them
Hello?
prime
The Omen
information.
blind.
The flash. It's a great connection. Som needs to stay alive. Jiggling with the movement again.
Oh wow.
They're finesse together.
No time.
Wow,
Oh.
we're in
OT.
That's the fucking duo right there. Oh my
Jeez.
The co-streamers bring things into round 25.
god. Wow.
I
Wow.
mean, that is fabulous.
They must feel so
What
good.
an
He's coming back from
I
Yeah.
mean, they know how to put on a shot,
Very
man.
I
confident in
can't
their
believe
attack
that
for
they
sure.
brought this
No,
back from
Vic
9-3
pops
off, and
off the
now
stuff like
11-4
crazy.
down.
His entries were crazy.
Might have been 11-3 at one point as well. I can't even remember what the depths of this were. It was so unlikely. But Finesse has constantly called the correct site to go to, always dodging where the like heavy resistance is. And Sen just cannot stop.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think they did go into heavy resistance a lot.
did.
They're- Yeah, I don't agree with
Some
that.
rounds
at
were
all.
like easier than others.
Yeah,
just
but
got
they
free
went
pickings.
into heavy resistance.
He's
but
also,
even
by the
with
way,
the heavy resistance,
perfectly
they had so much
utilizing
ability that was
his
used, so that, like, made it,
accuracy
like,
while
go.
sliding. He has
like, clear
owned
tank.
Zekken multiple times by sliding through, and it looks, if you're thinking about it as if it was on the old patch, you're thinking, how's he hitting this? He's so lucky, this is ridiculous, but
Perfectly accurate.
he's perfectly accurate.
Yeah.
He's
After
dominating.
12, man, you get a
Can
refresher
we
now
close
with
it out,
timeouts.
though?
NRG quick to capitalize. Because they know they can't let this slip. They've pulled off, frankly, the impossible.
It should have been. And I think Sen's flirting with the operator was a disaster to open the door for NRG. Hate to bring it back to that, but I think that was the wrong adaptation for sure. Speaking of the operator,
Big backer.
Victor is going to be bringing it out here on the defense side. The opping neon, a very
wow.
different flavor.
I think he
So
gets
NRG, the defense did not look very strong. It wasn't very tactically deep, but they're going to throw something in there that doesn't really rely on the tactics. Pure surprise factor. Finesse there just looking to break the cam. This is such a dangerous piece.
So dangerous.
Oh wow. He gets away with that. That's so initiated too.
Daylight robbery.
It's looking so good for NRG right now.
Remember, he didn't even have armor. And now SEN, without Sassy, how do you get into these sites? You're losing a lot of your powerful initiator utility. And Finesse now is not playing to anchor these sites super heavily. Normally he was playing, you know, like heavy A with double kill trips and the cam. He's actually playing really spread for information. So NRG are not, they don't have to go aggressive in this round. They can just play the advantage and all of that info from the trips and the cam. A stun to push somebody off that aggressive A angle, but that is not where they're on an off angle.
It's a high-low off angle second. Almost punished even with the movement that
He just ran in there.
jingg barely alive. A full rotation and wraparound.
I mean, they've got a great read here. The fact that that flash goes through, but there's no follow-up. Crashies and Som are just telling Finesse, like, mate, it's definitely not here. It is 100% not heading A. Get ready.
So the stack is ready
The
to meet
whole
them.
B side here. This is looking so good for
Ethan.
NRG. There's 10 seconds left.
Handed with the flash. Realizes they've already got themselves
What
into
is
the site.
Sentinels doing?
Only 9 seconds to go. How did they even get a foothold to get the plant down? Sentinels.
Yeah.
It's desperation. They've got to try and hold it down.
Okay, how are
And they do
Sentinels
just
up?
that. It's a 3v2.
There's
Second
8
push-
seconds
second push
left.
so
Of
hard.
an eye.
Oh
Crashies.
my god.
Dancing with death itself there.
Try to trade
Stun.
him.
Popped up. This is up to Som. Aftershock. Perfect.
That was a throw.
Just
That
lands
was a.
here. Pushes it away from the first
Easy.
wave. Another tap from Som, but it's going to be the
They
double.
did 3, 2, 1.
NRG were up so much.
Favorite Sentinels, man. A 13-12.
It was like 8 seconds
To
left.
be honest, I
Everything.
have
Continue to
very
have
low.
troubles defending over towards B. We were saying it's weird that
That's
they're
like
not trying to
almost
play for the flood defend. It's weird that they keep
unlosable.
having to play retake and scared over towards Bova. On
If
this
they
round,
want
they
that
step
round,
up.
that's, like,
They try to
guaranteed.
fight on site,
Yeah.
but the coordination's not quite there, and
I think they're
they
gonna
end
win.
up just getting torn to pieces by SEN.
Rotate.
And maybe
Maybe.
that lack of confidence of being able to play those hard anchor defenses kind of indicated that they were just playing full retake. All right, now SEN with a chance, another opportunity to close this one out. They've had many of them.
Let's see if they can step up to it. Victor. Many liberties being taken with this guy. It's positioning up. Top section of mid.
So far up by
It's
himself.
drawn so many people, but there's no one really to exploit
sure
that
go for
They're in
elsewhere.
the smoke. They're right. And
Oh, they're just dry fighting that?
one left to stand, but Crashes cannot do it.
Jeez. That round turned around so quickly.
Yeah.
It was just Vic there, and then
They just
boom, one
because
kill,
they-
and then they all killed the whole
yeah,
entire team in a second.
It was Breach and Gecko and
Gecko.
Raze that were already set up for like the mid
Yeah.
clear after that. After like they saw that happening and they were ready
Damn.
to take something out of it, like have a protocol out of it, and that's